Should be going live in a moment. Is my screen is not updating? Usually it does it faster than this. Maybe it's working and it's just my screen. There we go. We are live. So sure enough, the beginning of the video will have me muttering all about that. So hello, everyone, and welcome to Adventure on So Many Levels. We're going to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons. Dun, 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 dun.
On a train.
Yes, on a train. I am Christiana Ellis, and I am the Dungeon Master. Our players tonight, Starla Hutchton as Carolina Swift,
Hello, friends.
Paul Fisher as Zinhorn Windborn,
Good evening.
John Merlin as Baldu.
I hope we don't get motion sickness on this here train.
I hope not too. And then Jenny Meltzer as Zaleen.
Hello.
So we are down one tonight. Mark Kilfoyle will return in the future. Oh, you know what? I was just playing with my map setting, and I wonder if I could actually rotate. I can. Oh man! So I think what I'm going to do is, because we're going to have a tall, skinny map, but a letterbox screen shape, and so I'm going to actually rotate it. So all of you needed to know that, even though you can't see it right now. But the reason that all of this is happening, everyone, is because last time, when we last left the Pocket Protectors, they were taking a train, a lightning rail train, to the capital city of Pashan. And at the end of the last session, we actually kind of suggested that the train ride was already over and you'd already arrived. Well, turns out that was just a dream or something, because you're not actually there yet. You're still on the train. Just so you know. But I think with that, let me, as I finish setting this up, I'm going to go ahead and take us over to our train map. So does everybody see the train map? I'm talking to the players right now, of course. Yes?
Yep.
So
Yep.
you purchased tickets for this train. You boarded on this, like the standard car where there's basically just seats that you've bought tickets for. But this is a train trip that lasts a couple of days. It's not that long. I think we said it's something like 36 hours, but it's long enough that there's also a sleeper car that you have a berth for. That's part of your ticket. But this is the first car that you have entered in. And as the train gets going, the only other passengers who are in this cart with you are a family of goblins who you see just a little further down there, who are kind of minding their own business. But the kid seems to be excited. He's looking out the window as you begin to pull out of the station. The lightning rail train is something that I think some of you have ridden before, and I think we kind of covered some of that last time. But the train cars are pretty nice. Like, the seats show evidence of having had lots of people sit in them, but they are generally well maintained and comfortable. And the speed of the train rises pretty quickly, and so you're zipping pretty fast across the landscape before you know it, with relatively little vibration or noise within the train car. But I think we are, you have a train trip ahead, so I think what we'll start with is just a little bit of what do you all get up to on this long train ride?
I brought a book covering
For my answer.
the history of Rushama and my religion, and I'm trying to study up more on that. So I'm gonna read that, and then like every half hour when I get bored, I'm gonna go walk and see what's in the next car.
All right. So, anyone want to go and explore the train a little bit?
Um, Yesterday, before we left, Evan and I made a bunch of pamphlets that
Okay.
we're going to pass out to people
All right.
on the train to, reassure them of our religious presence.
Sure, sure. So, so you've got a goblin family here, in this car. What's your approach?
We'll just walk up to him and be like, "Hi, do you have a moment to talk about Our Lady and Savior, the Mistress of the Dark?"
What? I beg your pardon?
And then like hand him a pamphlet. Be like, "We're here today on this train with you guys, and like trains can be super dangerous, but they don't have to be. I mean, if there were an accident and something terrible happened, you should know that your spirit is in good hands with the Mistress of the Dark."
Wait, you follow the Mistress of the Dark?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of. I mean, it's a little spooky, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it depends on how you look at it. A lot of people think it's spooky because, the majority of people tend to fear death, but death is really nothing to be afraid of.
Well, I mean, we're kind of a Solomonian family. I mean, thank you and all, but I don't know if we're necessarily who you're looking for.
Well, that's fine. We just like to spread the word.
Do you want to try to make a harder sell with perhaps a persuasion check?
Sure.
I mean, up to you. It seems like you were maybe going to back off at that point, but I'm just
Well, I'm
making
gonna
sure
hand him
you
a
know you have
pamphlet.
the option.
I'm going to hand him a pamphlet before we leave,
Okay.
like before we walk away. So,
Well, I think if that's all you. Oh well, okay. So the with a 20 persuasion, tell me what's the note you leave this on that represents that 20.
just that, we're not here to pressure anybody into following the Mistress of the Dark. We just want you to know that she's got your soul.
So I think there's just something about.
Is she going to give it back?
You'll be dead. You don't need it.
Are you interfering with the with Zaylene's evangelizing here?
The book. I got my book up, and that's just out of the corner of my mouth, and then I'm back in my book like it never happened.
Well, I mean, I guess we could take a look at the pamphlet. It's something to read, I suppose.
Yeah, sure. Pass the time.
All right. So, who is going to go explore the train a little bit, and where do you want to go?
I'll
We
take
don't
an
hear
explore.
you, Paul.
Are we at one end of the train?
You know that you were pretty close to the front.
Okay. Then I'm gonna go toward the front just to see where the front starts,
Mhm.
and then turn around and check out what's in the back.
All right. So, as you move to the front of the car here, you do see a sign that says announces that is to the front of the train is the engine car, and it does not say that you're not permitted, but it does say please try not to disturb our crew while en route.
Okay, I'll head the other way then.
So just go ahead and leave it alone. All right. So you know that to the front is the engine, and then so who else heading further back?
Yeah, I'll go back.
I was going to say, I am probably, because I don't want to bother anybody, but I am probably in the tower in Zaylene's pocket
Okay.
with my instruments.
All right. So I'll go ahead and move you. Well, we'll just. I was just trying to think. Do we want to move you off the map to represent that? I don't think I have. I think you can still see, right? Like if I move. your token into the dark part?
I don't know where I am. I don't see myself.
I know. I just moved you. I was trying
Okay,
to
yeah.
make sure that you could still see the rest of the map. That was the point.
I can see where I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the part of the train that you could see before, you could still see.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Okay.
But you're not on that map, so I took you away. All right. So when you move down towards the next car, there is, despite what you see on the map here, it doesn't necessarily show, but there's railings, just little chains to hold on to, but you do have to kind of step over the coupling there. You know, you have to be like a little careful. Like it's not difficult. There's no roll involved to just make your way across. But if, for example, you were trying to do it in a hurry or burdened in some other way, it might be a little bit more difficult. Because you certainly see the hum and crackle of the lightning rail tracks passing by below you when you cross. But so the
Okay.
next car back is the sleeper car, and so you know that you have berths here as part of your ticket. But I guess it's also true that you have the tower available to zip into. But you know, that is what this is here, and so these are actually little compartments, so you don't see the, you know, like the people in or the beds, but that you know that you're passing through this little narrow hallway with a bunch of doors, and you know that's where the little sleeping compartments are.
Okay.
All right.
Shall
No.
we see if we can find the bar car or the dining car?
I mean, I'm right proper hungry, me. So yeah, that doesn't sound like too bad of an idea.
Okay, if it will let me actually select that, there we go. So the next car back is the first class compartment. And so you have the little hallway that sort of passes along to, you know, to the side here. And I think that just as you are passing by down here, down towards the further compartment, just as you're coming out of there, the door starts to open and they almost bump into you, and you see a dwarf woman wearing kind of like a cowl and little like diadem like jewelry thing. And she's dressed very well and kind of has this haughty expression and looks up at you as though you have committed some act of rudeness just by happening to stand there when she opened the door. She says, "I beg your pardon."
Oh, no need to beg, madam. Um, I am just a humble priest of Rishama. You did not interfere with me at all.
Well, you are interfering with me, sir. I am attempting to make my way to the dining car, and you are in my way.
No. Well, that will likely continue since we are also heading to the dining car and we're in front of you.
Why are you still standing in my way?
Oh, I walk away. I continue walking.
All right, well, there you go. She allows you and I presume Baldu to go ahead and follow on.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
she seems like she waits a little while to let you guys get a little ways ahead before she follows, but she seems like she's going to. And so the next car is the bar car. And you see that there is a bartender wearing like a fancy little green visor and got kind of a, you know, kind of a smarmy air to him. And he is serving drinks too. There's a tabaxi and an old human man with a long white beard have already, even though you've only been on the train less than an hour, have already decided that the bar car is where they're hanging out.
All right. Do they have a bar menu?
Well, what we actually have is quite a variety of special cocktails. Certainly anything that you might already be familiar with, I can give it my best shot. We've got quite a selection, but we also have, as I mentioned, special cocktails that if you're interested in participating with the train's special menu, I think you'll have a more one-of-a-kind experience. Or, 3 or 4 of a kind, depending on how long you stay.
All right. I'd like to look at the menu.
All right.
And I has the dwarf woman shown up yet?
Well, not yet, but I mean, you've only just walked in, so.
Yeah, I know. But I want to like motion Baldu over to like stand next to me so we completely block the path with the tabaxi,
Okay.
just because I'm feeling like a prick.
Okay. Yeah, so I think as you're looking at the menu and kind of consciously blocking the path, the door does finally open, and the dwarf woman comes in and immediately looks through and just. I would say her expression sours, but you have kind of the general sense that it probably kind of always looks like that.
Resting sour face.
Yeah. And I think that she looks to the bartender with just like an arched eyebrow, and he kind of goes, ha, ha, ha. So, and then he leans over to you guys, is like, why don't I have you guys come over and take a seat right here, and I can whip something up for you? And he's clearly trying to get you to move out of the way.
Would that
But
be on
I'm-
the house? Because I mean, we haven't ordered anything yet.
Well, no, I'm just saying that if you're going to order something, you should come on and have a seat and not block the aisle.
Oh,
So if I follow your logic right, then as long as I'm not gonna order something, then I can stand wherever I want. But if I do want to order something, I should be at the bar.
Well, I mean, I don't know why you would want to do that. That seems like a kind of a crazy thing. There's lots better places to stand if you're just going to stand. I mean, I don't want to tell you not, but, obviously we got to let people come and go. I mean, come on, what are we doing here, guys?
Baldur will tap Zinhorn on the shoulder and sort of motion him to, take a little step closer to the bar so that she can get past.
all right.
But as she comes to pass,
Yeah?
I move out of the way.
Okay.
I'll say to her, I do apologize for my friend here. Sometimes he can be you've seen how he can be sometimes, and he means nothing by it. But now that I'm talking to you, I am kind of an acolyte, I guess you might say, like a priest of sorts of the Mistress of the Dark. And I just wanted to say, like, you've got all your affairs in order, right?
I think that, like, as soon as you were past about 6 or 7 words there, she was already impatient. But then as soon as you get to that part, she just goes, and, like, pushes on past. And she's muttering something about, like, I thought a first-class ticket would afford me the ability to be separate from the ruffians like this. And she's pushing through.
Well, it's just that, and I'll call after her. If you don't have your affairs in order already, you seems like you might be running out of time to get them that way. But blessings of the dark upon you.
All right. Yeah, she seems like she's not interested in any of that. But I think after carefully waiting until she has completely left the car, the bartender's like, ha ha, well, not everybody's looking for the same sort of thing, I suppose. She didn't seem like she had the kind of convivial atmosphere that I try to maintain in the bar car. So, are you actually interested in cocktails, or?
Oh, she was just rude, and I felt like giving her a hard time.
Well, yeah. So so here, and he kind of leans forward and says, "Listen, now, obviously it's not your job to be part of the service industry on this train. So, like I'm not expecting you to do what I have to do, which is to be nice even when people are rude. But I know what you mean. But it's also kind of like my job to not piss customers off, right? So,
Oh no, I completely understand. And
Yep.
honestly, like looking at her, I don't know that she got much longer left to live. But you're in there for me, right?
I mean, that's like, no offense, but that's kind of a weird thing to say, Mister.
I mean, when you're in my line of work, you kind of get a feeling for when somebody's about to die. Um, I get how to an outsider that might sound odd, but yeah. I mean,
Yeah, this is a funny guy.
Anyway.
You want to order a drink or what?
Yeah,
Uh,
let me see the special menu.
Okay. I mean, he handed you a menu. I'm not
Oh,
reading
okay.
you a list of made up drink names unless you want me to. I'm just saying I don't like have prepared a handout for you. There.
Rum
Okay.
and
Okay.
Agricoca. Yes.
The menu has the boxcar special, which is it is Emersham wine spritzer with a shot that goes along with it.
Sold.
All right, there you go.
I'll order 2 of those, one for me and one for my friend.
All right.
all right, and as he's ordering them, I'll order 2 for these fine folk here for the unfortunateness that they had to put up with that fine lady passing through and all that.
So the tabaxi is just like, well, thank you very much, sir. I very much appreciate the generosity that you have shown me. And the old human man is just kind of grunts at you and he like holds it up, it's like, but otherwise doesn't seem interested in talking. Do you all just kind of hang out there, or?
We'll take our time with our drink, watch the world
Sure.
go past, see if they have any bar snacks that we can munch on. And then I guess when we're done with the drink, head on down toward the dining car.
Sure. Since you're hanging out there a little bit, I just want to give some of the others a chance
Okay.
to jump in. So, Carolina, you're just still hanging out in the tower?
Oh yeah, because my musical instruments they make a lot of noise, and I didn't want to disturb anybody on the train. So if I wanted to practice, I needed my own like little space to do it, and there wasn't anybody else here to bother me, or for me to bother them, except Buster. But he seems like he's okay with it.
Well, I've heard that music hath charms to soothe the savage beast. So perhaps.
Well, that's what I'm trying to find out.
Yeah. So perhaps you should do for me both a performance check and an animal handling check.
Okay. All right, performance.
Okay, performance is 18. That's pretty good. Although you can do better.
Yeah, I can do. Oh,
And then, so I think that you are kind of not really paying attention to Buster while you're practicing. And I think maybe to represent that you got a relatively good result, even with what is for you a low roll. Maybe what it is that you're really just trying to crack an extra difficult song that is kind of a show off song. You know what I mean? Because it's just particularly difficult in the technique and all. And so that like it's still a little bit of a stretch to try to get through and learn that part. But like to anyone who doesn't know would say, wow, that just sounds like a cool, really hard song. But something about just the frequencies of it are apparently irritating Buster quite a bit. And I think you're because what instrument is it that you're playing?
just because I'm practicing, I'm probably not using my fancy new mandolin that I got. So probably just my regular old lute
Okay.
that I had before.
All right. Well, so I think you are so absorbed in the song that you're playing that you don't realize that something about it has got Buster really agitated. and he is. I think we see you playing hard in the foreground, and in the background, Buster is kind of pacing back and forth, looks annoyed and upset, and then I think eventually, what happens is that he kind of hunkers down and has the squirts. And so perhaps that is the point at which Lynn would realize that something was happening.
Yeah, probably. It's like, oh, I better clean that up.
Yeah.
Jenny
He
will- or
was
Zaleen will
sufficiently
not be happy.
stressed by that song for whatever reason. You go ahead and
Sorry.
clean it up yourself.
Oh yeah.
Aw, what a good sport Carolina is.
My fault.
But I suppose that's also, you don't have to explain to Zinhorn that you upset Buster.
Nope.
I think as you're kind of cleaning it up, and once you stop playing, he kind of calms down, and there's a point where he comes over and he kind of like noses at you and looks sad, like I know that was bad, but then when he looks up and he glares at the lute, like.
It's not the lute's fault. I'm sorry. That song was just a little too advanced for me. I'll try to be more mindful in the future. No idea if you can understand me or not, but I'm gonna talk to him like he's a person.
Sure. Well, I think right now you're dealing with the initial result, and there's a kind of a reset that's back to normal maybe, but that's what you get when you roll a natural one. So Zaleen, you and Evan, I think Ivy and we'll say Ivy and Nedry are really content to literally just open up a book and then just sit there the whole time. So that's what they're doing. But after you agree to leave the pamphlet with the other family, do you do anything else? It's okay if the answer is no. We can let some time pass, but.
We're actually going to go the opposite direction that Zinhorn and
Okay.
Baldy went.
You want to head into the engine area?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so let me reveal that area. Okay, so I think as you head, to the engine towards the front of the train, you can go ahead and move your tokens as you like.
Come on, Evan.
Okay. Yeah, so you open that and you realize that like the initial first part of it here is actually like crew berths as well, but you can see through past that little narrow hallway, there's the cockpit where there's a few people sitting at consoles of controls, but one of them, as you come in, you hear that there's a ding sound from one of those consoles, and a gnome hops down from his chair and kind of comes to greet you as you're entering, and it just says, hello, can we help you?
No, we're just being nosy.
Oh, well,
I've never been on a train before.
oh yeah? Is
Never.
is it something that, you're interested in seeing how it all works, or?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah? All
Yeah.
right. Well, I mean, I suppose, as long as you understand, like, don't touch anything, of course, but I can come up and show you how it works at all.
Okay.
And so he'll kind of go back up to his seat and he'll just say, it's like, yeah, so I am, the navigator, which in some ways, some people might think it seems silly that a train would need a navigator, because of course we're pretty much going a straight line where the track takes us, right? But see, that's where a lot of people don't understand how this all actually works, because there's all sorts of different, connections and track crossings and all of that, and knowing where the turns are so that we know when we have to slow down a little bit or when we can speed up, or what sort of terrain we're passing through and what sort of issues there might be. So that's why you do actually need a navigator, even though you're just following the tracks. And And then Stacy over there is, she is watching the maintenance and the engine condition. And then, of course, we've got our captain up front actually doing the operation of the train itself.
Wow.
And you see lots of like fancy controls that are, like they're not, like I think that they are not super complicated from the standpoint of possible constructs that you might have seen here and there, but they're certainly a lot more sophisticated than the average person would probably deal with on a regular basis.
Wow. I don't understand any of that, but this is really exciting.
Evan says, a bunch of our group went and piloted like a little crab robot to go underwater recently.
The crabaratus.
Oh. And then, yes, the gnome. My name is, Scottrick, by the way. I've heard about that, the crab apparatus or crabaratus. I feel like I've heard it both ways. There in Emersham. Is that like, so you're diving shipwrecks or something?
Well, we actually killed this really big undead dragon that
Whoa!
regenerates and stuff, and we had to go get its body parts.
Whoa!
And they let us use the crab apparatus.
That's pretty exciting. I mean,
Yeah.
here I thought I was kind of showing off, showing you a little train console, but you guys know your stuff, huh?
Sometimes, yeah. Like we just, go around and help people. I would give you a card, but I don't have any. Carolina has them all. That's usually what she does. Like we help people.
I am just briefly imagining that we cut to Carolina scrubbing the floor. And then there's just this moment where she looks up and she realizes someone had an opportunity to give out a card and they didn't because they didn't have cards on them.
Well, I know what I'm doing the rest of the trip.
Cut back. So we have got our little journey underway here. It's going to be pretty smooth sailing for everybody, and I hope you all have a good trip.
Yeah, thank you for letting us come in and look around. It's pretty interesting.
Well, sure thing. It's like we like to encourage people to learn more about the Lightning Rails. We think it's just, if people have a good experience, they're going to, tell their friends that it's a safe and fast way to travel, as opposed to, like taking the roads or, lots of other complicated ways, of course. But, Lightning Rail gets you where you need to go.
Definitely. I will have to tell Nedry about this place. He'll be asking all kinds of questions. And then we will
cut to Nedry reading a book that says all about Lightning Rail trains.
Yeah.
And
then as we pass by him, as we're going to be like, Nedry, you go in there, they will tell you everything you need to know about Lightning Rail trains.
So in any case, after we can drop back down to Baldu and Zinhorn in the bar car, the tabaxi, I think, kind of scoots over a little closer and says, "So, if you don't mind me asking, what line of work are you all in?"
Well, I guess I'll go first. Have you ever heard of the Mistress of the Dark?
Well, I do recall that you mentioned her not too very long ago in this very train car. And then, of course, I've heard of her in the very general sense. But she's the goddess of death and whatnot, isn't she?
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's a good way to generalize it, I guess. Yeah, I'm kind of like a priest for her.
I am fascinated by the way you said kind of like.
Well, I mean, like normally my typical day looks a bit something like this. I'll wake up, say a few prayers, have some breakfast, tend to whatever the temple needs doing, pushing a broom around, studying some scripture, um, have breakfast, second breakfast maybe, lunch. I don't know, whatever my next meal might be. Do a bit more around the temple. Occasionally, like I'll she'll give me a tap on the shoulder, figuratively, like normally it's a letter, and then yeah, I'll go and do some stuff for her, and then once that's done, I'll go back to the temple and you know
So I see
probably have dinner.
Zinhorn doing a countdown there. What's that?
Oh, I was just waiting for him to say and go kill someone. But like Zinhorn's just like, wow, he actually has some manners. And doesn't want to creep people out. All right.
I was just going to ask you what Zinhorn is. Zinhorn just whoop, letting all of that go.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't want to creep people out either. I was just I was expecting him to do it. So
Well, at a certain point while you're having this, the tabaxi is nodding and like, oh, isn't that fascinating? Yes, I am truly enthralled by this discovery of the routine of a kind of priest of the Mistress of the Dark. I must say, this is unlike anyone I have ever encountered before. And I think that as he's leaning in pretty close. What is your passive perception, Baldu?
It's 19.
19. That's pretty good.
yeah, not too bad.
It's not on the shabby side.
Okay. Well, this guy is leaning a little close to the point where, like, you're not, like, it's a little surprising, maybe.
Okay.
But he's definitely like you're not really. He seems like he has something else on his mind, but all he's saying is how fascinating what you're saying is.
Gotcha. Okay. I'll make a very grand gesture of reaching into an internal pocket
Mm-hmm.
and pulling out my prayer book.
Okay.
If you'd like to know more, I can always go on, and or I can lead us in a prayer. I've even got some incense. And I'll grand gesture, reach into another pocket, pull out some incense that is somehow smoldering already.
Uh-huh. Okay. I think as you do that, the bartender's going to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, Al. Like, this is a non-smoking car."
Well,
Sorry,
it's
I
not
don't
really
think we
smoke.
can.
It's smolder, I guess.
Well, okay. So I think it counts. So I'm sorry. I think prayer, whatever, fine. But I don't think we can do the.
All right, but let me ask you this.
Like some of our
Ha-
customers are like sensitive to smells. It's a thing. It's a public space.
Well, I appreciate that. It does sound a bit like you're trying to persecute me religiously. So let me ask you this. Have you ever heard the saying, where there is smoke, there is fire?
He just goes and he points to the sign that's up on the wall behind him that says no smoking.
All right, but my point is that if there's no fire, how can it be smoke?
I'm looking at it smoking right now.
But that's my contention. Is it's not smoke?
Baldu.
Uh-huh.
Put it away, please.
I mean, I feel like you're trying to trick me or something. Like I'm looking at smoke coming out of your pocket right now.
I mean, that's like me pointing to that bottle back there of green cobalt liquor and saying, "Oh, because it's liquid and it's green, it's got to be poison." Which I guess if it's got alcohol in it, probably is. All right,
Well,
bad
I
example.
mean, like it's all relative a little bit, but I guarantee that nothing I kill, or nothing I serve is gonna kill you or
Nothing,
anything.
nothing,
It's
nothing
not
you
poison.
kill.
What?
Hmm. I definitely distinctly heard you say nothing you kill, and that's
Well, I'm distracted. You're talking about poison when I serve drinks. That's it's a little bit. It's
you.
like you're making me a little nervous.
Ooh. Oh, well, all right. Well, I think it might be time for me to be moving on, seeing what other carts have to offer. But I'll say you this: if anybody turns up poisoned, ooh, ooh,
How much do I owe you, sir?
Uh, you know what? It's on the house after all.
I put down a gold piece
Uh,
as I walk away and said, "For your time,
yeah. Thank you, sir. And he does take it. But I think as you're leaving, the tabaxi just kind of toasts you and just says, "Good luck to you in all of your evangelizing."
well, I'm sure there's only so many places to eat on this train, and it's a bit of a journey, so we'll probably run into you again.
Uh, so give me just a moment here. I think. Yeah. Okay. So as you make your way to the next car. Oops. This is the dining car. And as you make your way in there, you can see that the dwarf woman is still sitting at one of the tables eating, and there's several other passengers eating as well. And there's a gnome in kind of a green uniform that is clearly the server.
Just to
And
confirm,
Mhm.
those are like tables with benches either side. So there's one that's on the outside and one
uh,
that's closest to the inside.
yes.
Okay. Is she sat with her back to the window?
No, yes, correct. So she is facing the center of the car.
Okay. Um, I'll nudge Zinhorn. Yeah.
good evening, miss.
I would appreciate if you allowed me to eat.
We would be
Uh,
happy to buy you a drink. What are you drinking?"
uh, sir, and she's calling over to the server.
A,
Uh,
a bottle of wine for the good lady here, and we'd like to see the menu, please. The wine is on my tab.
she looks to the server and just says, "I would like to go ahead and request that my meals be brought to me in my first class compartment for the duration of the trip." And he's just saying, yes, of course, madam. We can do that. Um, can I help you, gentlemen?"
Oh, we can do that, can we? I too would like that my meals for the duration of the journey be brought to her first class cabin. That sounds like a delightful place to have a nice private meal.
That's a wonderful idea you had. Thank you very much for the invitation, madam. We haven't even been
But
introduced yet.
I say
My
this
name
is
is Zinhorn Windborn. This is my companion, Baldu.
It's a pleasure.
well. I must say, I
No,
have
no,
never
don't
before.
you've already said so much, and it's very kind of her. You have to say no more.
Well, apparently I do, because you're disturbing my meal, and now you're sitting where I can't even get out from behind this table. And I must say, if to you, and talking to the server again, it's like if this sort of situation cannot be rectified, I'm going to have to lodge a formal complaint. And then the server is kind of saying, I mean, absolutely, we're always striving for 5-star service. What exactly can I help you with? And he's now looking at the two of you like, why are you causing me hassles, man?
Madam, it seems like we may have got off on the wrong foot, and I do apologize for that. Yeah, it's I do apologize for that. I shall
So
leave
again,
you.
tell me, are you now trying to actually apologize and make nice?
I
I mean, because I'll let
my
you make a persuasion check if you're really trying, but it seems like you're kind of deliberately antagonizing her, which is fine. I'm just
I
saying. Tell me what you're going for.
I am on the face of it, I'm being sincere.
Okay.
My next move, once I've got up and apologized, is to move right here and yeah,
So
produce
technically,
some
that's into a lavatory, but
yes,
yeah.
produce some very loud noises
All right.
to point out her proximity and how she has possibly chosen the worst table she could have. Um, yes,
Okay. Well, go
given
ahead and make a
somebody of
persuasion
her
or
standing.
make a deception check, then I guess to try to apologize in a convincing way.
You've picked like the one skill I'm not very good at.
Well, you're the one
There
doing
you
it.
go.
4. Okay. So I think that that sounds to me like it comes out pretty elaborately sarcastic.
It's fair.
Yeah. So I think she is just, um, she sees that you leave, and after hearing one of the noises from the lavatory, she's just, oh my goodness me. And she turns and she leans down because this waiter is a gnome, so even as a dwarf, she can kind of tower over him and just says, "I expect when I purchase a first class cabin that I can receive first class service, and that includes not being harassed by the hoi polloi. See that that's taken care of." And then she stomps back towards the front of the train and leaves. And so the waiter at this point, as soon as she's gone, is just like, whew. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, sir. Back to you, Zinhorn. She's
A handful?
well, what I was going to say is that she is very rich and only travels by lightning rail because she is afraid of magical teleportation. And so she is per my employer a very important customer. I agree she's a handful, but also we're just trying to. So I'm sorry. Can I help you? Do you want something to eat?
Yeah, we were hoping to get dinner, and yeah, she very antagonistic. I mean, everyone's got a right to live and bask in the glory of Rashama, in the warmth of the sun, and to just walk around and look like people who exist are in your way and somehow causing you problems just because they happen to draw a breath really, really pushes my buttons. Anyway, I'm
I
sorry for the
I think
drama.
this waiter on a train, his eye just twitches a little bit and says, "What would you like for dinner?"
What do you got?
They are serving roast chicken with multicolored boiled potatoes with spices.
Sounds great.
All right, and so
I'll
I
have rejoined the conversation by this point, and
okay.
I'll take a plate of that as well.
All right. So there's as you kind of finish and the waiter moves away, you see that these some of these other folks at the other tables. The waiter goes back into the next car back. These two that are seated together there You definitely catch them kind of staring over at you guys a little bit and then like whispering to each other, but they don't seem to be trying to get your attention. Um, the tiefling down at this other table is got her head down over a plate, studiously eating. Looks like it would be very difficult to make eye contact with her without like literally just waving her hand in front of her face. She is minding her own business to with extreme prejudice. Um, but so at this point we had Zaleen and Evan were headed back, right? You were headed back through.
Yep.
So
We were just moving along.
yeah, I think that we will have you reaching the first class car just as she is on her way back through. So you'll have just gotten here and you're making your way there when this very huffy dwarf woman um, enters, and like as soon as she can see that you are coming the other direction, you see her just sort of flinch right away at the idea that more people, that sort of like sort of disdain, but then she kind of hurries to duck into her little compartment here and slam the door closed before you would meet her in the hallway.
Okay. We will just keep going.
All right.
I wasn't looking for her.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
don't know her. I never met her, so
I know.
Um,
I'm just
yeah.
pacing it out.
so we will just keep going.
Okay. So you would next reach the bar car. Would you
Yep.
either of you be stopping there?
Yeah, we'll stop there and have a
Alright.
little drink.
Okay. So the bartender said, "There's welcome. We've got our special menu of cocktails. We have the boxcar special, which has been pretty popular so far this trip. We have also got the lightning in a bottle cocktail, which is a lot of sort of fruity liqueurs with a little bit of a magical illusion in it that makes it look like it's a thunderstorm in the bottle.
I want that.
All right. So you can have one of those, and while you're hanging out there, everyone else just eating.
Just eat.
All right. So I think that there's just some time passes where Evan and Zaleen are hanging out at the bar, and Baldu and Zinhorn are eating in the dining car, when there is a little bit you don't necessarily think anything of it, like it's not severe enough that you feel concerned, but there is a point where you feel like the train kind of hits a little bit of a bump. You feel like a sort of a strange little vibration just for a moment. And it's only notable in the sense that it's, different than the pretty smooth ride there's been otherwise. And you see, like, depending on which car you're in, you see the crew kind of look a little bit surprised, but not overly concerned. And then everything kind of just continues as it was. But a few minutes after that, in the dining car here, you see two individuals come from back in the train, and they seem like they are kind of moving through quickly. What is your passive perception, Zinhorn? Oh, we don't hear you.
You're muted.
We don't hear you.
I don't know why
There
my
you go.
button is misbehaving today.
I don't know.
22.
Okay. Your passive perception is 22?
Hmm.
Oh, that's right. You have like an item or something for that, don't you?
I've got the shield.
Oh, right. Yeah. it always just blows my mind that it's 22 like that. So in any case, uh, I think that you notice as these two are like they're moving through in a way that seems hurried and a little bit like nervous, and you happen to catch that one of them has got like his jacket kind of like like bundled closed, and you see that just through the top of it you can see it looks like he's got some sort of like a leather armor underneath that seems like it's got a tear in it that he's trying to like cover by holding his jacket closed. But
Okay.
they are not stopping to talk to anyone. They are moving
Do
forward.
they appear to be armed?
So I guess this is something that we didn't really establish. I think that this is a train that people, this is a culture where people carry around weapons sometimes. So they are, but so are you, right? So it's
Hmm.
not like people have swords and stuff. It's not unusual.
Okay. I nudge Baldu. Did you see that guy's armor?
I mean, like, it's a little suspicious that they're hurrying so fast. Like,
Yeah. Makes me wonder why they're in such a hurry. I mean, I can see, moving quickly toward the bathroom, but they went straight past the bathroom. Um, what do you say we see what they're up to?
I reckon, like, yeah, I
All
reckon that might be a plan.
all right.
All right. So I think as you get up to follow,
Hmm.
these two individuals had also just kind of made their way into the bar car and are trying to push through in kind of the same way. But of course, Evan and Zaylene are in that car too. And I think Zaylene, you see these two come through also. You have a relatively high passive perception as well, don't you, Zaylene?
17.
Yeah, that's still pretty high too. So I think you notice some of that too, just the sense, maybe not the same level of detail like with the armor, but you just get a vibe from these guys that like they're hurrying in a way that it's not clear. Like someone who's on a 36-hour train trip, like, what do you have to hurry for? Right?
Mm.
What's that about? And they seem just like they have like a nervous vibe to them. And then, sure enough, as they're kind of coming through and they're squeezing through, Zinhorn and Baldu, emerge from the south. And I think, so first, Zaylene, do you like make any move to try to head these guys off or do anything, or you're just letting them go by?
I will let them go by, but then I want to follow after them
Okay.
to kind of see what they're up to.
Mm-hmm. So I think um, they go by and they move into that next compartment. But I think just as you're getting ready to follow them, and Zinhorn and Baldu, are you like hurrying to try to catch up with them?
Um,
So being clear that like to keep up with them, you would have to move fast enough that you kind of become suspicious at that point, right? Where it's clear that you're following them as opposed to if you're
hmm.
kind of tailing them at a distance. You see what I mean? Like, so tell me your approach. Are you hurrying to catch up or?
Yeah, I think we're gonna hurry to catch up.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you're definitely attracting some attention there as you're moving through,
Hmm.
and I think just as you're starting to follow forward into the next car, Zaylene, as you're crossing over the coupling, you hear, and actually, I think all of you kind of hear this sound that it seems to be kind of coming first from the rear of the train. And it's kind of blending in a little bit to the sound of the train, but then you hear this kind of ka-chunk, 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 metallic sound. And then Zaylene, you see very quickly the shape of something pass overhead as you're between the cars. It happens too quickly to get a good look at it, but something just crossed from the roof of the car behind you onto the roof of the car that you're going into. And as it does, you hear the ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk sound pass by that way too.
Okay, I will nudge Evan. Like, did you see that?
I mean, I heard something. What did you see?
I don't know what it was, but I just saw something like pass across the top of the car.
Are you like do you stop, or are you like, because these guys, if you hesitate at all, these guys are still going.
No, like I'm gonna move forward across into the other car and
Okay.
see if I can see anything like from that exit.
Okay. Well, go ahead and like move to where you're moving. Same for you, Zinhorn and Baldu. These guys are still hurrying.
Do I see anything from out of that way?
I mean, where you're looking like out the side windows.
Well, no, like from that door, like looking facing that way, because before we were facing that car, but now that I'm in
No,
that
so
car.
so the thing that you saw was moving from the back of the train towards the front.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay,
so
I
you
thought was
saw
the
it
other way.
jump from the car you were leaving to the car that you're entering.
Okay, I misunderstood.
Yeah.
Did you mention this to us, or are we all just
I think you all heard the sound, but she's the only one that saw it.
okay?
Even a glimpse of it.
All right.
So you all heard the chunk chunk sound kind of pass overhead, but still kind of distributed sound. But then it clearly kind of came and went forward. But I think it's also not necessarily obvious if you don't take a lot of train travel that it's like, is that maybe that's a normal sound.
I will tell them as soon as they come through,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean I don't know that you're in a
Yeah.
hurry or
So
that
you actually can't be in that square just because that's part of the compartment. But yeah, I understand it's a little.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think as you're trying to hurry and follow these guys who are almost at the other end of this compartment now, and you're making your way through, the door to this compartment opens again, and the dwarf woman is just like comes out and just says, "What is all that?" And she sees the four of you now, and she's just, "This is the worst trip ever." Slams the door. But as you are making your way, you see these guys have left this car and gone into the next one. Are you're continuing to
Are
hurry
we-
forward?
Are we following those guys? Like they look like they're going somewhere.
Follow them.
We're following them because they look mighty suspicious.
Yep.
Okay. There was something out there. It's like going towards the front of the train.
You mean
that's
other
where
than
they're
them?
headed.
There was something on the top, like jumping across.
So
the
if you
car.
guys are having this conversation, it's like I don't see how you have that conversation hurrying. So are you letting them kind of go get ahead a little bit?
Yeah,
Hmm.
I guess.
I mean, you guys tell me. I'm just saying, like that's a level of conversation you probably wouldn't have if you're hurrying to keep up with other people that are hurrying.
I'm going to use Blessings of Mistress of the Dark and jump 30 feet ahead.
Okay.
Um,
So you're hurrying to keep up,
Yes.
regardless
Well,
of whether
I
anyone
mean,
else is.
That's fine, but like I said, like I didn't know, so I mean, I'm not like, oh, I gotta hurry, So if you guys,
I
are in
know
a
that
hurry-
like any response you guys have is totally fine. I'm just trying to keep clear what it is that's happening physically as you
Right.
talk, right?
Yeah.
Because it sounds like if the question is, are we following them? That's probably not something that you're having in a single file narrow corridor while you're also hurrying, right? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Baldu is hurrying, and I think especially with a Misty Step style poof, you would actually get a little closer up. And I think that as you get to the point where you're looking through the windows in the doors between the cars, Baldu,
Mhm. Yes.
you can see them partway up the next car, but they have stopped and they're kind of looking uncertainly, like upward, like around. And they seem to have stopped their motion and they are hesitating, uncertain.
I am going to move out here. Actually, I'm going to gesture back at my comrades, and it's going to be like a complex military gesture. I'm going to try and say, "I'm going up.
Okay.
You guys go ahead."
Make a performance check.
Oh God, you found the other one that I'm not good at.
Oh, look at that! It's a 6. Yeah, so I think it's one of those great movie scenes where someone does this complicated series of hand gestures, but then the other person is just like, "What?
Going to the bathroom?
I don't know what any of that means." But so like, what is it that you're doing? Are you trying to like?
So I'm gonna go out onto the coupling
Nothing.
and then try and jump / climb / whatever up onto the roof of this the
Okay, make
Cat.
an athletics check for me. It's not extreme, but it's a moving train, so it's not trivial.
that's fair. 22.
22 is fine. And so what I will actually do now is reveal to you that I have. You maybe didn't realize that I had this all set, but actually I have the roof.
Dun, dun, dun.
Now you still see the tokens on the map, which is unavoidable. But I think I will maybe actually just briefly move them to the side because you don't see them while they're on the roof. But what
Bye,
you do see. I'm sorry.
I
What?
said, buy tokens.
Yeah. Just the placement I have for the layers here has it. What you do see on top of the train car, almost at the far end of that car, you see a large metallic construct of some kind that, unlike most practical constructs that you see, or like the crab apparatus, or the sort of things that people use to like pull a cart or automate just various tasks that look kind of like clunky and practical and functional, this thing looks sleek and smooth and dangerous, and it looks like a predatory animal, like some sort of a like lizard tiger thing. And I'm putting a token on the map now, and it's like crouched right there on the top of the car, and you can actually see now that you're on the top of the car that it's got claws that are literally like gouging into the metal of the roof of the train car, and it's left behind little gouges as it went, which makes it very clear at this point what the ka-chunk 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 sound was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you hop up onto the car, that's what you see.
Okay. So if I take like a half step back, like there,
Mm-hmm.
I will wait for my colleagues to
Catch up.
catch up, and then
Mhm.
I can, inform them that I think the guys inside the cart are probably okay, and I reckon I know where that gouge in the one guy's armor came from.
So, Zaleen Zinhorn, and Evan's there too. How are you responding to that?
I'm gonna. Well, Zaleen, you're closer.
Yeah, I will go out and go out with Baldu and try to see if we can get up on top to figure out what it is.
So I think as that's starting to happen, I think Baldu, you kind of just like, as a matter of situational awareness, you kind of glance back over your shoulder at the thing, only
Mhm.
it's not there anymore. You don't see it anymore. And
It's not a head. It's
like well,
like
you literally like it has gone somewhere you can't see it while you weren't looking. But then you hear kind of a crunching, crashing sound. And Zaleen, you down there at the coupling, look down through the train car. Let me put that map back and move all of the tokens back over. Um, you see that um, these two suspicious guys are now racing their way back this direction in even much more of a hurry because the this creature that Baldu was just talking about has just torn its way through the door into the car and is now squeezing its way slowly through this narrow corridor, and they are obviously running away from it, and they're going to very quickly find that you are in their path.
Hmm. Um. Wow. There's like nowhere to go either,
Mm-hmm.
except back in. All right, I will go back in
Sure.
and duck into the toilet here,
Okay. Yeah.
so I'm out of the way.
Mm-hmm. And so, Baldu, I'm going to move your token just here, just to reflect that you're up top, not right in the way there.
sure.
But yeah, so these two guys are uh, hurrying, and like as they're coming through, like they see Zaleen get out of the way, but they're like trying to push through, and it's like, get out of the way, out of the way, out of the way, it's coming.
I'm gonna flatten myself against the wall to let them get past.
Okay. All right. So it's they do. But now this thing is heading right for you guys. So what are you doing?
Um, I'm going to cast Detect Nightmare.
Okay. That's an action, right?
Yes.
Okay. You do not detect any nightmare energy beyond that you have previously detected with your own sort of belongings and such.
Okay. And then I don't know. I'm gonna, since I'm in the bathroom, can I use my bonus action to knock on the door and go into?
How about this? Let's go ahead and roll initiative.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let me get an initiative just for get everyone on the
Right.
tracker here.
And we had a long rest before.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We had
Okay.
like 3 of them.
Okay.
So many
yeah.
long rests.
Like 100.
All right.
Gosh, well, I swear it does the weirdest thing. Like it won't. Turn tracker is such a bizarre thing. Okay.
All right.
All right. I think that has got everybody on it. Okay, and then now let me everyone try to, if you can, get your own initiatives on there.
All right.
Um,
I need.
and then the monster. Ooh, hi.
Evan rolled a natural 1.
All right.
So she's got 4.
Those guys.
Mine was 13.
So it looks like there's 2 of Zaleen on the turn order list,
Yes, there is.
and there's
Huh,
I don't see one for me.
Oh, there
if-
isn't one for you because you're in the tower. So
Right.
I can go ahead. Let's give you.
I did
one,
go
but-
ahead and roll. Just
Okay, yeah. Let me add you to the tracker, but we'll need to figure out how. I swear,
Just keep turning.
this add a turn thing is such a stupid, like it. Okay, it's like when I'm trying to add a new thing, it keeps adding duplicates of everyone that's already done it before. So I've just deleted all of the other stuff. Okay, hang on. Add turn. And then that has a 22. Okay. All right. So now we've got everyone except Carolina on there now, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. I feel like this mechanic used to work better. All right. So go ahead and put your time in your value in there, Carolina, and they may have to figure out how to get you on there. So we're actually going to start with Carolina with 24, and from inside the tower, have you finished cleaning up the mess that
Yeah.
Buster made?
yeah, and I probably decided I needed a shower after that because gross. And
Mhm.
so yeah, probably just coming out, drying my hair, getting dressed.
All right. So it is now this construct creature's turn, and it is squeezing through with difficulty coming through this corridor, but it gets to the door and is going to basically just claw at it, and it uses its action with its bite and claws to just tear the door apart. And then it is going to hop out of the door and then clamber back up onto the top of this next car again. And so that it is on the top. And so, Baldu, you certainly see it because, from the car that you're standing on, you see it jump up from the coupling to land on the top of the other car.
So it sounds like it passes within and then without melee range of me.
Yeah, I think it would. So are you going to
Alright.
opportunity attack?
Oh, yes, I am.
All right.
Yes, I am. Let's Shade Blade
No.
this dude. That is, I'm guessing an 11 does not hit.
It does not.
Okie dokie.
I think you sort of you nick it with the blade, but it just glides right off of this thing's armor.
Gotcha.
Right. So I'm gonna just put it kind of here to represent that it's up on the top.
Okay.
Okay. Then it is actually I think it could get a little farther. So it does make it about maybe this far. So now it's these guys, and I think they hear that sound, and they are going to suddenly attempt to ram their way in through the door of this first class compartment. And he hurts his shoulder. He goes, "Whew," and it just bounces off of it, and it's like, "Ow!" Oh. So his buddy is saying, "Come on!" And that's all they do this time. So Zinhorn, you're up.
Yes, I am. I'm gonna step between the cars and climb up
Okay.
and
Make an athletics check.
Okay.
You know what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to make the top of the car just be next to it on the map.
14.
Okay, a 14 is good enough.
And then I'm going to. So. Give me 10. Should be able to get to about here.
Hold on just a moment.
Okay.
Yeah, so this token is just the top is meant to just represent the top of the car that it's next to, if that makes any
Mhm.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
And let me reveal that so you can all see it.
Okay. The right-hand side of the top is blacked out for
Yes,
me.
I know. I
Ah,
was working on that, but thank you.
okay.
Yeah. So you are
I
you're
am
trying to
now here.
okay. So you do see this thing, and you see it look like it's listening. It scrabbled its way up there, but it looks like it's searching.
Okay. Well, I don't know those guys, and I don't know this thing, but its actions are very aggressive,
Hmm.
and I'm going to send it flying.
Okay.
I am going to use my metallic lightning breath,
Mm-hmm.
metallic breath weapon, and I am going to attempt to knock it 15 feet and uh, have
Mm-hmm.
it fall off the train.
Okay.
20 feet, excuse me. It'll be pushed 20 feet if I succeed.
All right.
So the DC is 14, and it's a strength check.
Okay. It is pretty good at those. It got a 16. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
14?
it beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you see it like dig its little claws into the roof of the train and sort of weather that blast. And then it kind of looks and snarls at you in sort of a robotic hissing way. Like it makes hisses and snarls like an animal, but they sound like processed through some metallic filter. Like they're simulated sounds. Like someone has made a machine try to make those sounds.
Okay.
Okay.
You
Uh,
leave now, and you live.
all right. Um, so you say that. Go ahead and make an intimidation check.
Not bad. 16.
Okay, 16. All right. Um, so that is your turn. Zaleen, your turn.
I am going to put the tower down here by this little sink. I'm going to knock on the door and I'm going to go inside and tell Carolina it's time to go. Sorry about your vacation day.
Carolina in a towel.
Yeah, time to get dressed. There's some kind of thing out there causing a ruckus.
Oh, okay. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
So
And
I'm
I don't know, like,
probably
can I do
dressed at that
anything
point,
else?
just a towel around my
I
hair.
think maybe you can pop back out, but that's probably it.
Um,
I think while you're in there, there's just a moment where you're like, do I smell
smells like
something?
poop in here.
Why does it smell so clean?
All right, so you can pop back out, and that'll be your turn. Baldu, you're up.
Am I gonna have to make some kind of check to get across the?
Yes, it's going to be another athletics check, but again, it's not necessarily a high DC. But I want everyone to certainly imagine you're standing on the top of a fast-moving train. You know, the
Mhm.
landscape is zipping by. There's a lot of wind when you're up there, and it's not really designed to be run across, and so it's not
Yeah,
got handholds or anything, but it's also not a
and
far jump. So,
yeah, and I believe I've asked you this before,
mm-hmm.
possibly the uh, optional skill from um, or feature rather from Tasha's the steady aim.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, that's fine.
yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. In that case, I'm going to forego my movement to steady my aim and give myself advantage on a bow attack.
Okay.
Uh, is a 24 to hit.
All right, hold on. I'm making a top for the car you're on as well.
Mhm.
A 24 is certainly going to hit.
Wunderbar. So that would be um, 10 piercing plus 26 sneak attack damage.
Sure. Also, go ahead and make here. I'm going to move you just because you're. I've got the top of the car now.
Yep.
For you to be on. So just right
Cool.
there, and then let me. There we go.
Ta-da!
So yeah, let's see. 10 plus 20. Yeah, that's pretty good. That is as you strike it.
Mhm.
You see that your non-magical arrow,
Yes.
it strikes and like sticks in for a second, but then as you watch, it sort of vibrates and then boing, and you don't see even a mark where it was hit.
Right. That's not good.
Yeah. Shoot. There was one. Oh, one other thing. Go ahead and make a perception check while you're up there too.
Yeah, this will be good. 19.
While you're getting your short bow out of your pack, you realize your soul coin is gone.
Not my soul coin. I have an idea who has that.
Maybe. All right. So that was Baldur's turn. Evan's turn. Do we have someone running Evan? Great.
I have Evan right now. Yeah, he doesn't know what's going on. He's Evan.
Mm-hmm.
He is going to brush out to see what's going on and try to jump up on top of this car right here. So, is that athletics?
Yes, it's athletics to jump up.
I can find it. Oh, he has acrobatics, but not athletics.
What?
I said he has acrobatics, but not athletics.
Yeah. Well, like jumping and climbing is definitely athletics. Although in another game that I play in with a high dexterity, low strength character, I have occasionally been frustrated with that. 15 is good enough though. So yeah. He's able to he's climbing back up to the one next to Baldu then?
Yeah, he's on the same one
Okay.
as Baldur. And he doesn't know what's going on, so he's going to make a crossbow attack.
Okay.
And it's multi-attack, so he's going to fire off 3.
I think I think we never fixed it on his stats, but it probably should be a short bow because hand crossbow usually would have the loading, so you can't do the 3 attacks. But we'll just roll
okay.
it fine for now. It's fine. It's a special hand crossbow. Wow. Okay. So I think that he hits it. So the first one misses. The second 2 both hit true, and then one of them even seems to hit it right in the eye. But then, just like with Baldur's arrow, the arrows strike, but then somehow the creature sort of and then just pushes the arrows out, and there's really no mark even left behind.
That's Evan.
Okay, so we're back at the top. So Carolina, you are have the opportunity to come out of the tower if you're prepared.
Sure. As much as I can be.
Yeah, let me move you down to that area. So you would be coming out right there. But of course, you kind of see the train car. You don't really understand what's happening necessarily.
Yeah. Since I don't know what's going on, I'll just hum a few bars and hit Zaleen with bardic inspiration. And they're like, what are we doing? What's going on? My hair is still dripping.
You can change any appearance of your body, but you can't dry your hair fast.
That's right.
Although it makes me wonder if you shapeshifted to have like a shaved head and then shapeshifted back, would the hair still be wet?
Would your shaved head drip like your hair was wet?
Like when you shifted into the shaved head, would it just like all the water that was in the hair would just like pour off of you?
It's interesting. I feel like that's probably what would happen. But I'm not doing that because I don't look good bald.
All right.
How do you know?
All right, well, I bet she's tried.
I haven't found the right shape yet.
Okay.
Still working on your Captain Picard cosplay.
All right, so that's all you do this time?
Yeah, because I have no idea what's going on.
Okay.
Who's the bad guy? Where are we going?
So the Baldu, Evan, and Zinhorn can see as the creature sort of digs in with its hind claws and then leans down over the side of the train and starts tearing in through the windows. And so these two guys start to shriek as the side of the train car is getting torn open right by them. And so on this turn, it succeeds in making a big hole in the side of the train car, but that's also at the moment. And so on their turn, they are going to attempt to flee, but they're going to get one opportunity attack as it tries to bite them. Actually, I take it back. What happens is as they are starting to... Nope, never mind. I can't do that for an opportunity attack. So it just tries to bite at one of them, and it gets a 27 to hit. And so this guy gets chomped for 11 damage. And he's clearly bleeding and injured, but not, taken down by that. And so he shoves his buddy ahead of him, and they are now like hurrying to try to get away. All right, Zinhorn, your turn. You can see it's now sort of like crouched down so that it's like tearing at the side of the car.
I am going to hit it with my freezing drill spear.
Okay.
I rolled a 10.
Yeah, a 10, unfortunately, you don't find a spot where the spear will like stick into it.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of stab and it just sort of skitters off across the side of it.
Okay. Well, in that case, I am going to cast Spiritual Weapon at 4th level and attack it again.
Okay. Let me get you your hammer.
And
It was another 10. Well, 10, yeah, 10 still doesn't hit, unfortunately.
still does not hit. Nope.
Nope. But you have your hammer out.
Mm-hmm.
And then
What are you doing? Stop.
all right. So that was Zinhorn's turn. Do you want to move or do anything else?
Not at the moment.
Okay. All right, Zaleen, it is your turn. I think Right now, you wouldn't have line of sight on it, but if you moved into the hallway, you would certainly see now that there's a big hole in the hallway side where this thing is torn through the window, and you can still see its head and sort of front limbs there.
I will move with Carolina. Can I like kind of push her and move like half my movement?
I guess do you cooperate with that, Carolina? All right,
Yeah.
then yes.
Okay, so I will drag her forward and be like that and point out the window.
Yeah.
And I am going to cast Witch Bolt at level 3
Okay.
at this thing.
All right. Does it make a saving throw for that, or do you make an attack?
I think so.
Okay, a 22 looks like it will hit.
Yeah.
Great.
And it's 14 lightning damage.
Okay. All right. So it looks as though it is not as affected by the lightning as you would like, but it nonetheless does not shrug it off completely the way it did the arrows and stuff. Not that you saw that, but so
Right.
but your witch bolt though is one of those where it has this lingering sort of electrical charge around it, right? Yeah, and so you can see it sort of like snarling and like trying to shake that off. Okay. Baldu, your turn.
I am going to. I measured this out and then forgot all about it. I'm going to take 2 steps forward, and as I start to fall down into the gap, I'm going to use Blessings of Mistress of the Dark again to pop right to there
Okay.
in very cinematic style.
Sure.
And then we're going to try this whole Shade Blade thing again.
Okay.
Because it worked so well the first time around. 28
A
to
28
hit.
will hit.
That would be 13 necrotic damage.
It does take necrotic damage.
Wunderbar.
It does, however, still seem to be resistant to it.
That's as much as I thought.
Uh,
That's action and bonus action. Yeah, that'll be my turn.
Okay. Was there not any kind of a you don't have sneak attack with that one, or?
No, unless the spiritual weapon counts as an ally, which I think is a stretch even.
No, like Zinhorn would, but not the spiritual
Yeah.
weapon.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that would make it Evan's turn.
Evan doesn't know what else to do because so he's just gonna do what he did before.
Gonna
Like,
just
hope for the
keep firing
best.
the arrows.
Yep.
Yeah, none of those actually even hit.
Yeah. It's like, what am I supposed to
Poor
do?
Evan, yeah. All right, Carolina.
So I don't know why we're fighting this thing. It seems very intent on something because it tore through, but like those guys came past and it didn't follow them. So it seems like maybe it's after something. But it feels like nobody is in really the talking mood.
It came through the side of the car right where they were and tried to slash at one of them when they ran away. It just hasn't had a turn again since they moved on.
Right. Well, I am going to. Does this work? Does this count as a creature?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna try to cast polymorph on it.
Okay. Let me look. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't seem to have any special. It has gets advantage on the saving throw, but otherwise it's not like immune to it or anything. So it's wisdom save for polymorph.
Yes, 16.
Okay. Let's. Well, so it does save. It got a 21 with the wisdom save. But you feel that your spell kind of like, it finds a source there that could theoretically be transformed, but it also seems to have some kind of a magic defenses. A little alarming.
Well, then,
It's
as
a pretty tough customer, it would seem.
let's see, I'm trying to find my my thing for it. So, as in my bonus action, I'm going to cast Unsettling Words on
Okay.
it.
Is that another wisdom save or?
It says I can expend one use of bardic inspiration
Oh,
and
right,
choose
bardic
one
inspiration.
creature I see.
Mhm.
So yeah, it just gets it. That creature must subtract the number rolled from the next saving throw it makes
Okay.
before the start of my next turn,
All right. I'll put a little dot on it to.
and that's a 1d10.
Okay. From the next attack roll or saving throw.
It just says the
Or
next
just
saving throw.
Okay. All right. So that was your turn. Anything else?
No, I think I'm gonna stay right behind Zaleen here. Oh wait, she's behind me. So, yeah, I'm gonna kind of squeeze past her. I'm gonna go behind her because I'm not like stabby and stuff. I'm squishy.
So I think that so Baldu and Zinhorn, you see that it kind of first comes back up to look down the train car as though it looks like what it wants to do is run further down the train car along the roof. But when it sees, you kind of blocking the way, instead what it does is it sort of climbs down and tunnels back through the hole that it made.
Let's swing at it again.
Yeah, you do get the opportunity attack.
Yeah.
You are-
16.
16 is going to miss.
Do I get it with my hammer?
The hammer doesn't get opportunity attacks.
Mm.
And so it is now moving through the corridor again, but it's too big. It's going pretty slow, and it is making a mess of the walls of this narrow train corridor as it pursues these guys through there. And it looks like it can't quite catch up to them on this round.
Was sure it's pursuing the guys and not the snooty-faced woman.
Well, I mean,
It appears to be.
make your own judgments based on the evidence presented to you. So that was its turn, and then those guys are like, "Yipes!" And then they are pushed back into the next car. So you don't see what they're doing after that, but I know that that's what they're doing. They're hurrying through. In fact, I think at this point they're dashing, but then they kind of have to shove past these people, and so they're kind of held up there a little bit. Okay, Zinhorn, your turn.
Can I go through the hole that it created and follow it?
It is a risky thing because you're on top of a moving train car and you're going to try to climb down a jagged metal hole in the side of the train car. So the answer is yes, you can try. Make an athletics check for me.
Okay. 10.
I think a 10 is yeah, I think a 10 I think a 10 I'll allow that. But so how about this? It's you take that, but you also take it is close enough and the wind is buffeting you enough that you end up kind of sliding against the jagged metal a little bit and take 6 slashing damage.
Okay.
But otherwise, though, you are able to slide back down into there.
All right. And I take my hammer with me.
Well, the hammer, The hammer, we're going to go ahead and move with the idea that magical stuff is it's relative to the train, as though a train is a stationary location. So
Okay.
it's not just like you create the hammer and then it's just it's gone because you're moving on a train. Although that would be kind of funny, but we're not going to do that. So you can move the hammer down with you.
Okay.
Hammer down.
Yeah. So it looks like either me or the hammer can get an attack.
Yeah. Unless you moved the hammer, like the hammer would have to go through the hole in the same way. So yeah.
Well, yeah, I would have brought it with me.
Right. I'm just saying you
Yeah.
can't you can't have it come down the other way
Right,
in the amount
right.
of movement it has.
But I can cast a spell past the hammer.
Yep.
Okay. We're gonna go with guiding bolt at level 3.
Okay.
23.
A 23 hits.
19 points of damage.
Okay. So it's 19 points of, I believe, radiant damage. Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
So that is, of all the things that have hit it so far, that seems to have had the most significant effect of everything so far. It definitely feels that it like it sort of rocks from it and then sort of like snarls again. And it's also, of course, got the glitter bomb effect on it now, which will gain advantage for the next attack roll made on it.
Well, the next attack roll is going to be my
Mm-hmm.
where'd it go?
It's right there. Where
I
the
know,
hammer
but
is,
I'm
I mean,
looking there. Yes. Okay. So this is with advantage.
Mm-hmm.
26.
Okay, 26 hits. For 9.
Actually, well, I cast it at a higher level,
Okay.
so I get another D8. 9 plus 6.
Okay. Yeah. So that's
15
another
points. Another 15 points.
yeah. And that's another solid hit on it, and you definitely clunk it, and it makes some dents in the armor that I guess like the force damage makes it like a dent that doesn't just automatically repel itself the way that the arrows did. So you've done some damage to it for real now. Although it seems like it's pretty tough. It's not not that injured yet, but you certainly did hurt it. Okay, Zaleen.
I'm just going to do my lightning damage again.
Okay.
It's like
I
automatic,
think also
so-
probably Zinhorn, you would be aware that you're kind of like avoiding this weird like electrical tether going from this creature to Zaleen. You're actually lucky that it didn't go on the top of the car after all, because I think if it gets behind cover, it breaks your spell, doesn't it?
No, it's just has to be within 30 feet. It
Okay.
doesn't even say you have to see it or anything. It's just
Oh, okay.
connected.
All right. Well, so it is, as before, still resistant to lightning damage. However, even half of 21, is still that's still some damage to it.
And
Okay.
then, yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm not going to mess around, because if I do any other actions or anything, it can break that spell. So,
All right. Baldu, you're next.
Is it safe to assume that if I try and swing down through the gap in the side of the train, that it's getting pretty cramped and I'll end up behind Zinhorn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Quick question. Did that thing have to make any saves?
Not yet.
Okay. So
Wisdom
just-
save at some
yeah,
point.
just so you guys are aware, that wears off. Says the next saving throw it makes before the start of my next turn.
Okay,
So,
so if you don't make a saving throw, it'll that effect won't do anything.
yep,
Um,
wasted.
Okay, so I mean, you could, of course, run, run back along the roof of the train car to like get on the other side of it theoretically.
I think the laws of physics slash how light works in my favor. If I move 25 feet down to here,
Mm-hmm.
I should be able to see a spot here, assuming that the doors have some glass in them, like windows.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Why not?
Okay, so then I'll burn
Rather than try to
another.
do the line of sight math.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. Is
Yeah.
like, how tall is he above
Yeah,
sea
that's fine.
level, and which way is the air blowing?
Mm-hmm. So you're
Which
poofing through the window.
yes, that's my bonus action. I have like 5 feet of movement left, but
Mhm.
I don't really want to be standing here. So I think what I'm gonna do is hold my attack for if and when this thing gets close enough.
Okay. I think as you are appearing in there, you are certainly aware of these two individuals that it seems to be pursuing, who are having kind of a shouting match as they try to shove past everyone in the bar car here.
And is the tabaxi still here?
Yes.
So I'll take a free action to say, "Oi, you want my coin back, you bugger? I'm coming for it."
Coin? Why, what coin could you possibly be talking about? I don't know what you mean.
Insight check.
Evan's turn.
He is going to jump back down.
All right.
Here,
Have
does
him
he have
make
to
an
do
athletics check.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, so I won't have him instantly fall from the tree and go under the wheels.
Get run over.
But he does slip, and he is now hanging from the train coupling with his legs dangling above the electrical crackling of the lightning rail tracks.
I imagine he's also screaming.
Well, I don't. I feel like I would.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, he's in rough shape. He looks like he needs help. Okay, Carolina, your turn.
So, guessing I can hear the screaming, can
Mhm.
probably look out the door and see him.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I'm gonna help Evan.
If
You
I
and your
must.
pets, swear.
I think if you use your action to do it, it's done. You don't need to there's no roll required.
Okay, I will help him, and then bonus action. I'm gonna do the unsettling words again.
Okay. I think so. Was that a saving throw again? No, it just works, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think as you're doing that, you hear Evan kind of just say, "You just saved my life."
Oh no. And I'm just picturing this like moment where I've got him like around the waist and I'm holding on to the train car
Mhm.
and the wind is rushing past us.
Yeah.
I feel like, wait, what?
All right. So that makes it the creature's turn next. It is continuing to shove its way through the tunnel here. And so it gets to the coupling. So Baldu, as you set up position there, did you leave the door closed or did you have it open? How did you manage that? What were you
I
doing?
did not touch the door. I just
Okay.
I could see through the window in the door.
Mhm.
So the door is closed.
Okay.
The
So
way is
I
shut,
think
it shall not pass.
I think that there is a moment where time seems to slow for just a second, where you see it
Hmm.
looking at you
Hmm.
through the window, and you can see its eyes are somewhat like some big cat's predator eyes, except they're made of like metal and glass and various components, and you see them, and then it jumps up onto the roof of the train car here. So I'll make another roof, and so it hops up there, and then it's going to use its dash action to ka-chunk, 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 ka-chunk along the top again. I think actually it can, when it's not squeezing, it can go that farther. Yeah, there we go. All right. So you see it choose to avoid trying to go through you, Baldu. Like, yeah, I think you get the sense that it was like actually like making a tactical decision, because like it sees its targets past you, but it's going around the other way.
Scared of me. Got it.
Hmm? All right. So that was its turn. It's these guys' turn now, and I think they hear the sound go past them again, and they at this point, one of them looks through the window and says, "I don't know. Do you think we could jump?" And the other guy goes, and then he looks over to you, Baldu, and says, you gotta help us. Please, please help.
Why?
This
Why
thing's
is this
chasing
thing
us.
chasing you? Why?
I have no idea.
Anybody who says they have no idea why something big and scary is chasing them is full of rubbish. I don't believe a word of it.
All right, well, that's all I think we get for that momentary interaction. But they are at the moment not sure what else to do. I think they do try to move a little bit closer over to where you are. Especially since they
Wonderful.
get the sense that it's trying to go around get them from the other side again. And now Zinhorn.
I gotta move to catch up with this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm taking my hammer with me.
Mm-hmm. Your hammer can only move 20 feet.
Okay, and I can move 30. I'm gonna dash.
Okay. So you don't see it past the coupling, and you see Baldu standing there. So you suspect it must have jumped up onto the roof again.
Yeah, and I suspect it's about to come back down. So, I'm well, I dashed, so I have no action. So,
Okay. Right.
That's it for me.
So as you enter, you certainly see these two shady individuals in sort of supplicating body language towards Baldu and now you as they see you enter. Zaleen.
I'm going to take off running in the direction everybody else has gone.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to also dash.
All right.
So I'm standing on the coupling out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Baldu, your turn. So you were kind of challenging their initial answer there. Do you want to try to like make an intimidation check or something?
Yeah, I think intimidation should.
Mm-hmm.
be good.
They do
Yeah,
already seem scared, so I'll give you advantage.
because I need it. I'm not very good at intimidation. That just says.
Yeah,
I
it's
think I
kind of a
broke roll
weird,
20.
like it didn't.
All right, let me
Is
roll
that a result
once,
of 10? Oh, no, there we go.
and I'll roll a second time. So
Oh,
yeah,
look
I'll
at
take a
that.
29.
It looks like you actually have a plus 10, so I don't know why you're saying you're
I
not very
do.
good at it.
It was method sarcasm.
Sure. So I think with a 29, so what do you say that just instantly convinces these guys to tell you everything?
Tell us why it's chasing you, or I will let it get you.
Please don't do that. So here's the thing. So we were trying to steal the thing out of the safe in the back car, and it turns out that the thing is that. And as soon as we got it out of the safe, it started trying to chase us. So we're very, very sorry. Please don't let it kill us.
Right,
I-
so just so I'm understanding in the next 6 seconds here, you tried to steal a sentient being and it defended itself, and you
We
want me to
didn't
protect
know
you.
what was in the safe. We just thought it would be good.
I think that's probably my 6 seconds, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
That is your turn, but yes. So that is apparently what's going on here.
In order to further intimidate them, I'll actually take a step like there.
Okay. Yeah, they are cowering before you.
As well, they should.
Okay. What's Evan doing now that he's, safely in the arms of Carolina?
He's just gonna stand there and be like, Carolina, what should I do?
Oh,
He's scared.
my arrows just bounced off,
I don't know what to do.
and I almost
But-
fell off a train, and.
I think
Right.
he will probably at least like just dash down here to find out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like right there.
Yeah. All right, you're up, Carolina.
I'm trying to remember. I don't see it on the sheet for it, but my +1 rapier, which is a magic
Yeah.
thingy,
Mm-hmm.
with a few words to bolster his confidence, I shall hand him my rapier and said,
Oh.
"You can do this. I
Uh-huh.
believe in you."
Oh. Magic
And then
sword.
I'm gonna I'm gonna boop him with bardic inspiration.
Okay. All right. So, are you going to move?
How am I gonna move? Let's see. Everybody else has gone off to chase this thing, so yes.
All right.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is my movement? 30 feet. Okay. So I think there. Is that right?
Mhm.
1, 2.
I wasn't counting, but I trust you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
All right. So it is the creature's turn again, and somewhat predictably, perhaps at this point, it begins to tear its way through the door on this part of the car. And at this point, like everyone else who is in the bar car had already been kind of alarmed at what was happening, but now are just actively terrified. And so, bartender's like, hiding under the bar. This guy over here is kind of staring at it. I think perhaps too drunk to be properly terrified, but just kind of staring at it, just like, no. And that's all he can really manage. But it has torn its way through the door. It is now in the bar car. It is also, I think you'll note, not as restricted in its motion in this car, because although there's a narrow aisle alongside the bar, this thing seems more than capable of running on top of the bar. So that's all it gets for this turn, but that's what it's going to be. And these two guys, it's their turn now. So they basically say, "Listen, that thing's going to tear us to pieces. Help us out, and we will do. We will make it worth your while. We'll turn ourselves in, whatever you want. Just don't let it kill us."
I don't know that I can. Like, I don't know I can stop it. I'll try.
Well, that is what they do on their turn. Zinhorn, you're up.
Baldu, what's going on?
These two tried to steal that thing, but they didn't know that that thing was that thing. That thing protected itself.
Crud.
Right? I mean, it's a bit of a more quandary. Doesn't help that it seems to be tough as nails.
All right.
I mean, I don't think we should let some kind of construct kill two people, even if the two people might or might not deserve it. I mean, even I find that a little bit, that's saying something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's kind of where we've landed.
All right.
So
Thanks.
this
All
thing
right.
is about to charge.
Yeah, and I put myself
Hmm?
in its way, and I am going to attack it again with guiding bolt.
Okay.
Does it? This time I'm going to do it at 5th level.
All right. Let's see if you hit.
19.
19 unfortunately misses. Yeah, it moves sinuously out of your guiding bolt's path and leaving it to blast a hole in the side of the bar car. But it's all right. There's already a pretty big hole. I don't think anyone will complain. Okay. But you have also set yourself in position to obstruct its path. Zaleen.
I'm gonna come in to the room, and obviously we heard what they were saying. So
And it had moved more than 30 feet away from you at this point.
right, that's fine.
Mhm.
So where did they try to steal it from? Like, I will ask that. I'll be like, where was this safe that you tried to steal it from?
It was in the safe car, the last car, the special security cargo.
We need to get it back to that safe.
Okay.
So you guys are probably going to have to be bait.
One of them pees his pants.
Prestidigitate. So there's a hole in this car now too, right?
Well, only the door that it just tore its way through has a hole now.
Down at the bottom here.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. All right. Maybe we should get everybody back out and move them down towards the safeguard.
I don't know what that means.
I mean, like, back out of this and like go up on top of the car.
Okay. I mean, I'm just saying you guys do what you want, but tell me what you're doing.
I'm just making a suggestion.
Mhm.
But I mean, in the meantime, I will expend 2 charges of my Twilight Skin
Mhm.
to trap it where it is. not bringing the ribbons like within anybody else's range, but sort of keeping that 30 feet diameter
Okay.
like at the bottom of the car so that it can't.
Oh, so you're enveloping it with your.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So that way it's kind of trapped and maybe we can get around it.
30 feet diameter, you said?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? I always forget. So 1, 2, 3. So it's like it's about like that. So is
Yeah.
that about where you wanted it, or
Yep, that's perfect.
okay? All right.
So now it's temporarily trapped.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Okay.
my turn.
Baldu, your turn.
So this is some spooky tendrils holding it in place.
Mm-hmm.
Probably best not to walk into them then. I will use my turn to usher these two morons out the door, and I will throw up a rope, I guess, to help them climb up.
Okay.
Or I guess I'll climb up and throw a rope down, attach a rope onto, I don't know, something that's up there somehow.
Okay. And so you tell them, I assume, that what the plan is.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, we that thing's trapped there for now. Don't go into the spooky tendrils, and we gotta get you two down to where the safe is because we think that's how we're gonna stop it from killing you. So, assuming you were telling the truth about, not wanting to die, get your backsides up on top of this roof.
I don't know. I mean, if it's trapped there, why don't we just unhook the cars? We go up to the next car over and leave the cars behind.
I can unhook you from this life, and I'd be quite happy to do so.
Uh,
Or
Fair counterpoint. Okay, I think we'll do your thing then. Okay. It was just a thought. It was just a suggestion. We're spitballing here. Okay. All right. So you get that ready to assist them getting up onto the train car then.
Yep.
So on Evan's turn, before he takes any action, the door here, this compartment opens, and the dwarf woman comes out, looks back and forth, sees the big hole in the side of the car, and just says, "What is the meaning of this?"
There's some kind of thing that I don't know what happened. It's rampaging all over the place and ripping in and out. It's like a weird construct thing.
What? I don't see it here now. Where did it go?
It's in the other car, I think. I don't know. I can't see that far. I'm in this car.
Oh, for pity's sake. And she actually starts pushing her way through to go
Okay.
that way.
He will not get in her way.
Okay, so now he can take his turn.
Well, he was just gonna come out here to try to see what's going on.
Mhm.
And he's gonna see Baldu up on there again, and he's scared. But he's gonna be brave and try to jump up there again.
Okay. Hey,
Yep.
get back on the horse, so to speak. So athletics
And
check.
he also has.
Oh,
he rolled a 10.
A 10 is enough.
Okay. All right, so he's up here now
Mhm.
with Baldu. Like, what are we doing, man? I don't know. And that's his turn.
Okay. Carolina, your turn.
So that threw off what I was going to do. But now I am going to hurry after this elderly dwarf woman
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, I'm so sorry, ma'am, but it's very dangerous. I don't think you should go into the next car.
Young lady, you don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I don't disagree with you, but I won't get in your way if you want to go, but I really don't think it's a good idea.
She does not seem like she's interested in listening. But you can do any other action you like.
Can't. Yeah, that was okay. Yeah, no, I got nothing because I got no line of sight on the thing. I don't know what's going on because they're all in the next car,
Yeah.
and I don't know.
Okay. So that makes it the creature's turn. It is a strength saving throw, I think, to try to get free at disadvantage. That's how it works.
Yep.
Okay. It is pretty good at strength. Let's see how that goes. What's it trying to get?
DC 17.
Got an 18. Oh, no,
Oh.
excuse me. With disadvantage, it didn't get an 18. Excuse me. So one of
Okay.
its rolls was an 18. The other one was lower, so it didn't break free. But I think you feel like this thing is capable of potentially getting free. It's just a matter of time.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, it does not get free on this turn. Okay, so these two individuals, and one of them, incidentally, we didn't describe this, but one of them has like sort of a, well, you know what? Never mind. I was going to describe their weird train robbery outfits, but we described them previously as not being that suspicious. So I'm going to go ahead and have them roll athletics with advantage to try to climb up the rope. Okay, first guy gets up fine. They both make it. So they are able to get up onto the roof of the train with you guys. I assume you allowed them to kind of pull past you, right? Is
Yeah.
that what? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably the extent of their turn, unless you tell them to do something else.
Nope.
All right, Zinhorn, your turn.
All right, I am going to go back up here, and I'm going to move that aside, and I'm going to say to the dwarf lady, did you happen to have a large metallic automaton in the safe car? Because someone tried to steal it and now it's trying to kill them.
Well, obviously.
Well, if you could tell it to not kill them, we can apprehend them for you.
It has
And-
a safe word, but it is known only by the guard that I left by the safe.
You don't know the word.
I wasn't planning on having to shut it down myself. I had it locked in a safe.
What's the guard's name?
Frederick.
Everybody, we got to find Frederick to stop this thing.
The only one who can
That's-
hear you. Everybody else is on the roof.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're all up there, and it's like.
And I am out of movement and I can't see it. So I can't get further back in the train to find Frederick.
That's why we're going around.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Zaylene.
I am going to. I'm gonna go out and go up on the roof
I
with
think these
everybody
guys are
else.
all hiding in the corner here.
Actually, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to tell when they get there, so I'm just gonna go out and go up on the roof.
Okay. Make
Maybe.
an athletics check.
We'll see how that goes. Oh, that's not bad.
A 14 is enough.
Okay. So,
Hmm.
and yeah, that's it. Like, I can't really do anything else.
Okay. Baldu, your turn.
I am gonna tell Evan to uh stick with these guys
Mm-hmm.
and uh usher them towards the safe car.
Sure.
And then I'm gonna dash maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, dash will put me like at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the car.
All
Can I
right.
retroact real quick to just say that when I got up there, I told them that we needed to find Frederick.
Okay. Sure.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I'm running off to see if we can find him.
Mm-hmm. I think when you say that, you notice, Zaleen, that the two guys kind of look at each other like, kind
Well,
of
he's dead, isn't he?
grimace expression. I mean, maybe not.
Good thing I have this diamond. Okay.
Yeah, me too.
You know, and at that point they actually start to argue with each other. It's kind of like, listen, I told you that's why we need to use the sleeping powder, but you don't know how to properly dose the sleeping powder. It's like, well, yeah, so like he was already sluggish, but he wasn't going down, and that's why I had to hit him. Well, I don't know, but then I think, you know, the brain, you know, like a head injury on top of so they were arguing about that
And I
apparently.
think that at that point, like for the first time ever in his life, Evan is going to be like a tough guy. Where he's just going to be all like, all right, that's enough.
Yeah.
He's just going to start nudging them forward.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. All right, so we just had Baldu's turn. Evan's doing that. We have this dwarf lady who I think is attempting to push her way past you, Zinhorn.
um. Okay,
She's pretty
I'll let
insistent.
her go. I'll let her go.
Okay, I think she gets in there and she sees all the shadow tendrils and just says, "Now what's this?" Feel free to ignore her, but that's what she does. Okay, that would put you back at the top, Carolina.
Okay, so I've kind of grasped what's going on between all the conversations. So I'm going to kind of shove past Zinhorn as well, up to the dwarf lady, look at the tendrils, be like, ma'am, if you need to go past there, I can help, but I need your permission.
Make a persuasion check.
Pretty good
She
at those.
narrows her eyes at you. 18. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think she says, "I'm versed in arcana, my lady. Tell me what you intend."
Well, I was going to use the dimension door spell and just get us to the next car,
Ah, very well then. Yes.
and I will do that.
All right. To poof the two of you, what, just to the dining car, the next one back,
Yes, because yeah,
like that.
I don't know. Yeah, like that. And then I'm going to continue following her. So
All right. Cool. So I think you probably theoretically could have been further back in the car. Where were you envisioning?
um
I mean, for that matter, you could be like. So the problem is, of course, that you don't
the,
know
the train
exactly.
is moving. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm not worried about the train moving so much as just without seeing what's in the car, you don't.
Mhm.
You're risking appearing
Yeah,
in
that-
the middle of furniture or something.
Yeah, that's why I was like, well,
Yeah.
just on the other side of the door.
Okay,
Seemed
yeah.
safe.
Sure. So just right on the other side of the door certainly works. All right. So it is now this thing's turn again. So it is once again going to try to break out of the shadows. And this time it does with a 22.
Okay.
So it just tears its way free. Do the shadows stay? I think in
think so,
principle
but
they
I
do
like
stay unless you drop them, but it
right,
gets out.
right, but it can't do anything else on its turn. Like it's leaving the area requires the entire action.
Right, right.
So
Let's see. Does it have Okay. I think that based on where the target was before, it does come out this way. Shook. And you see so Zinhorn, you see it tear free of the shadows and immediately start searching the car looking for its quarry. All right. These two guys are hurrying along on the roof of the train as directed, and I think they're dashing more or less, but they're gonna kind of slow down as they get towards the end of the car because that's scarier. All right, Zinhorn.
Uh, let's see. This only moves 20 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Crap. So I can't get it there, and it's just gonna buzz past me.
Does seem likely.
Yeah, and it's almost out of time. Um, I will close with it and use my freezing drill spear.
All right. See if you can get better than a 10 this time.
23.
A 23 will do it.
I have gotten a lot of 10s tonight.
Yeah.
And that'll do 8 points of damage.
Okay. So it's piercing and it's magical piercing. Plus, looks like you got 2 divine strike damage. Are you doing it one-handed or two-handed? Well, I guess it's, in this case,
One-handed because I have a shield.
Right. Okay. So looks like 10 total damage, magical piercing, with that initial effect. But it has other effects that it does if you activate them, right?
Yes. I am not going to activate them because this thing will carry my spear away.
Ah, well, you know what? That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay. So that makes it your turn, Zaleen.
do I feel it escape?
Yeah, I think you probably do.
Okay, then I'm going to use my action to drop the ribbons,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm just going to take my movement
Okay.
and go down the train, like stay behind them.
All right. Baldu.
Right. Here's what I intend on doing.
So I think probably from where you are, you would see that the parts of the shadowy tendrils that were coming out of the end of the car that you're in, you just see them disappear.
Okay. And I probably have seen Carolina appear in the next car over.
Yeah,
Okay.
from that position. Yeah.
Right. I am going. My intent is to drop down onto the coupling and then come in through here and engage this thing in melee combat.
Okay. Making a new top for the
It disappeared.
next car over. There we go. Okay, so you're gonna hop down, make an athletics check. I think actually probably you could do acrobatics if you wanted for dropping
Sure.
down.
23.
All right, no problem.
That's the lowest I can roll. Yay, rogue. And then close on this. And then as an action, I want to activate my extra dimensional hand, reach into this thing, and then just grab hold of whatever's inside and rip it out.
Okay. Okay. Gosh, let's see. let's make that like a grapple check to try to like get a hold of something. Does that make sense? Because I don't think it has
Sure.
built-in mechanics for that, but it's cool. So let's figure out how
No,
to make it
yeah.
work.
Sure.
All right.
I guess I didn't think the mechanics side of things through. So
Well, no, do you have another proposal for how you would want it to work?
no, absolutely not. I mean,
Okay.
sleight of hand would be amazing for me, but that doesn't seem like a
Well,
sleight
let's
of hand
see.
kind of thing.
You know what? I'll let you do sleight of hand.
Okay.
Sleight of hand against its athletics because it's trying to like jump away and not let you near it like that.
Sure.
But it rolled really low, so it got a 9.
Against my 27.
Yeah.
So-
Okay. So how about this? Treat it like an unarmed strike, but with your sneak attack damage can count.
Okay.
And you don't need to roll to hit because that's what we just did, right?
Right.
And so I think you are bypassing any normal sense of you're essentially like having it be like magical bludgeoning damage in this case.
Okay. So an unarmed strike is just strength roll? No, that doesn't
Yeah,
seem right.
it's one plus
1d.
your strength modifier, but then you
Oh.
can certainly count your sneak attack here.
So 1 plus my strength modifier is 0,
Okay.
plus 24 sneak attack.
Okay. So, well, basically, what you're doing is 24 magical bludgeoning damage. Then, in
Sure.
this case, satisfied with that?
Yeah.
All right. That's pretty cool, though.
I was kind of hoping I'd be able to like shut it down by pulling out some CPU or something, but
I think it is sufficiently complicated that you don't know where its CPU would be.
that's fair. But if it's
Um,
sufficiently complicated, any
Hmm.
internal damage should be. Anyway,
Well, you did damage to it.
true,
Yeah.
true.
So I think that it is got redundant systems, and so you damaged it, but it does not immediately shut down.
Okay.
All right. That is cool though. So I think, at that point, I think we're back at the dwarf lady who had been thankfully transported, but then she is glancing back past you, Carolina, and saying, "Are they damaging it?"
I think perhaps they're just trying to delay it. It's a very complicated thing, and they're all very scared, and nobody really knew what was going on. So you're gonna have to forgive them. I'm so sorry.
Well, I suppose we'd best do what we can to get it shut down before they break the bloody thing.
I agree.
All right, so she is hurrying towards the end of the carriage there.
See, I'm gonna be nice to her just to be contrary to you guys for being jerks earlier.
All right, so that would make it Evan's turn. He's,
He is ushering everybody down here. You said they were at the end, right?
yeah, so he can like set himself up to help them climb down.
Okay. So he's gonna jump down, maybe. No, he's not.
Okay. I think that yeah, so I think that the 5 in this case actually reflects not falling but like freezing. Like
He's scared.
yeah, it's like the last time he tried this it really went poorly.
And Carolina's nowhere to be found.
Oh no. Actually, he could probably see her through the doors of the next
Yeah, I'm
carriage
literally,
from that
I'm
line
like
of
right
sight.
there.
He's all like, Carolina.
Yeah, so he's momentarily frozen in place. Okay, Carolina, it's your turn.
I'm gonna hurry on after her.
Mhm.
Because yeah, there's other people around. They can help him. I can only help so many people at once.
You're hurrying past these 2 guys who are just sitting at the tables, like lingering over like a long lunch. They're just kind of like, "Hey, what's going on?" All right. Do you do anything? You're just hurrying. You're dashing.
Nope. Just dashing.
All right. It is now the thing's turn, and although it has been damaged somewhat, I think. Let's see. I think now that those shadow tendrils are gone, it's going to try to think. Yeah, yeah, I think it's going to try to push past you, Baldu here. Squeezes past to go this way. So you can certainly make your opportunity attack.
We each get one, right? Zinhorn should get
Oh,
one. as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, I
Yes,
should
correct.
get
You
one
both
as
do.
well.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get back with the Shade Blade for this.
22 with the freezing drill spear.
Okay, that hits, yeah.
Shade Blade does not hit.
Okay.
Um,
So looks like 8 for the
8.
drill spear.
Yep.
Okay.
It's rolling more dice than that. I don't.
Well, it's doing your divine strike damage as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you kind of peg it with the spear as it hurries past. But I think as it gets to the opening here, it's going to hop up onto the top of this car and then look around, at which point it's going to see those guys again. And they're going to suddenly like, "Oh god." Now they are rather vulnerable on the top of a moving train. But I think that is its turn to do all. You know what? I don't know that it is now that I think about it. No, I think it had to look around. So that is its turn, but they're now in kind of a tough spot. It is their turn. I think that the only thing that makes sense for them right now is they're gonna run back the other way. Yeah, they're running back that way. Make a dexterity save, Zaleen, as they push past you. Oh, okay, natural 20. No problem. Okay, so yeah, that's what they do. Zinharn, your turn.
All right, where did this thing go? There, no, back up top again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think my best place to be is continuing to, well, can't remember. Carolina can heal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
Heal, but not resurrect. So, depending on what we find.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to follow Carolina and I'm going to let my hammer go and I'm going to dash.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Sounds good. Zaleen, your turn.
I'm going to. I have no idea what to do. Probably because my cat is distracting me.
Hmm.
I don't want to I don't know anything about what's going on down there, other than that we're trying to find this Frederick guy, right?
I don't know. You know what's been discussed, I guess.
Yeah. Man. I'm going to go down here with Evan and prepare to jump down.
Okay. Bear in mind, when you're doing that, you're literally in melee range with this thing that is just realized that its quarry is past you.
I know.
Okay.
So it can get me if it needs to. If it
Well.
wants to. That's fine.
All right.
So I'm going to attempt to jump down.
All right.
16.
Okay. It does not make an opportunity attack.
Okay.
But-
So that
and-
puts me like down here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's me.
Okay. Baldu, your turn.
All right. I am going to run. Okay, rule of cool. Run, jump,
Mm-hmm.
like flip handspring over the top of this guy, come down, plunging down the shade blade.
Okay, onto the
Uh,
creature.
Hopefully pinning him into the roof of
Oh, okay.
the train. Yeah.
Well, let's see. So athletics is what we've been doing for like jumping up and getting on there. So how about an athletics and then an attack roll?
Athletics says 13.
A 13 is enough. And now an attack roll.
And now an attack roll. 25.
25 will hit.
For 15 necrotic damage. I have an ally within
You
range.
do. Evan is
So-
still there because he was afraid to jump down.
Attaboy, Evan. So that's an additional 21 sneak attack. So that
Okay.
is
That's,
36.
36 necrotic. That's pretty good. So your blade is made of pure darkness. I'm just
Mhm.
trying to think like, yeah, you know what? I think sure, why not? I'm not going to rule that you always have the ability to pin metal
that's fair.
creatures to metal objects, but I think that's pretty cool in this particular case. And you definitely get a pretty significant strike on it there, and you can tell that, like, although it's got some fight left in it, it's definitely pretty dramatically depleted from where it started. Okay.
That'll be my turn.
All right. So down in the next car, the dwarf lady is muttering to herself about how she has traveled with the lightning rail for years, and she has never before seen such a poor level of service that they allowed her secure cargo to be broken into, and now and not only that, but she's having to just put up with all of these people, and she's just constant rant of complaining about all of that. And so she is pushing forward, though. So she can move. She's a little slower than the rest of you. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. She's pushing into the galley car now, which is like the kitchen for the dining car. And the cook there and the waiter are pushed aside and just like, what is happening? She says, "Ha! None of your business. Just allow me to do what I need to do, and we'll deal with your performance review later." All right, that's her job. So Evan is up there by this thing. He's got the +1 rapier now.
Yeah. He is inspired by
Mhm.
Baldu, so he is going to do.
He's also inspired by
3
Carolina.
Yeah, he does have inspiration.
Mhm.
So he is going to do his multi attack with her rapier.
Nice.
So, I need to find the thing for that.
Well, I mean, +1 rapier is just going to give him a +1 modifier to the attack, right? And then +1 to damage.
Is it the same as the short sword? Like the Is
Just
it-
roll
it's
it that way.
finesse,
It's
so-
close.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So a 22 hits, a 21 hits, and then a 15 could potentially hit with the inspiration. So go ahead and roll the d10.
I have to roll that on my thing. 10.
And those should probably go. Would they have the additional +1
No.
anyway?
Yeah, they should have an additional +1.
Okay, well, so the last one still doesn't hit, but the first two would, and they actually do 1 more damage each, right? So that's a total of 18 piercing.
But it
damage.
should be a D8 instead of a D6.
Oh, okay.
For
Well,
rapier.
So I'm
Yeah.
gonna roll 2d8.
Okay. And then we add 8 total for the 2 attacks.
Nice.
Okay, so 14 plus 8 is going to be 22 total damage with the magical rapier. Pretty good job, Evan. And he's literally doing it across the gap from the roof of one train car to the roof of the next train car over as the landscape whips by.
The hair's going.
Yeah. All right, Carolina, your turn.
I am continuing to follow her.
All right.
And also adding in apologies to the people that she pushes out of the way as convincingly as I can.
Well,
I'm
these ones
so
don't
sorry.
even know what's going on. Like they haven't seen anything, any of this stuff.
We have an emergency. I'm so sorry.
You can keep up with her. She is and only has a movement speed of 25 feet, so she's a little slower than you. But so you could get another 10 feet if you were wanting to overtake her. But up to you.
No, I'm gonna stick with her.
Okay. It is the thing's turn, and it is going to try to run past Evan, meaning Baldu and Evan both get to make opportunity attacks.
Yeah, do.
Okay. 21 will hit.
16 will
It would
not.
actually be a 22 anyway, but yeah, 16 won't hit, unfortunately. So Evans will hit. So the 1d8 plus 4 will be 7. You're whittling it down, but it's not enough yet. And let's see. So it's moved 10, 20, 25, 35, 40. And then it dashes to catch up with those guys. Trying to decide what it makes sense for these guys to do. I guess they're going to try to jump back down to the lower level. No, I think what they do is they're trying to they try to jump over to the next car. No, they're going to jump down. That's one of them is going to do each. So they're going to split up. One is going to try to jump across. And he makes it. The other one jumping down, he also makes it. So one of them jumps down into here and runs through that way. The other one jumps across like that, and they're running. But one of them also takes a swipe from the thing's claws. And it gets a 31 to hit for 9 piercing damage. So the one that was, fortunately, the one that had already been injured does not take an additional injury, but they are both bloody now and wounded from this thing as they flee from it still. And also, presumably, it's going to chase them in that direction now. Okay. That makes it Zinhorn's turn again.
Dashing through the car.
All right, so go ahead and move along, and then it'll be Zaleen, your
Yep.
turn next.
Yep, I'm done.
Zaleen?
I'm just moving
Okay.
through the car.
All right.
I'm gonna dash.
Sure. So Baldu.
I'm going to use cunning action as my bonus to take dash, so that I
Okay.
can close on this guy.
Yeah.
Which, you want me to make a check to get across the gap?
Yes, please do.
Athletics.
Yeah.
That's a 13.
Yeah, you're good.
And then I am going to Shade Blade,
Mm-hmm.
which I believe misses
It
an
does.
18.
It does. This thing is tough. It's got tough armor.
Okay.
All right.
That's it.
That makes it the dwarf lady's turn. She is hurrying back. You're racing to distant parts of the train. This is a long train. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. All right. She has moved forward into the main cargo car. All right. And then it is Evan's turn.
Okay, he's gonna dash.
Running along the roof of the moving train. Chasing a big robot tiger lizard.
He's trying to get in front of it.
Okay.
So,
That's probably going to be tricky. He'll have to make a dexterity saving throw to do that.
Okay. Ah! He rolled a 1.
Uh,
Second time. Oh, Evan.
I think he falls off the train. I mean, this is the second time
I know.
we've got a natural 1 on this
I know.
critical moment.
Is there any way I can use my reaction to catch him? Make a.
I'll let you make your own dexterity saving throw. But I think we probably need a relatively high DC because you're also having to move around this big hostile creature. But you're benefited by the fact that the momentum would carry him slightly back towards you, right, as he falls. Go ahead and make the roll. 25. Okay, so what I'll allow is that he is now hanging over the side, but you've got him by the hand. Like
Okay.
you are prone on the top of the thing, holding him like that.
Gotcha.
All right. And he is looking up at you, and he's just saying, "This is really dangerous."
I regret my life choices.
Well, certainly I need to take a moment to consider how this keeps happening to me. Okay, so that is his turn. Carolina, your turn. You're following, I imagine.
Yep.
Okay.
We're not there yet.
No, unfortunately not. In fact, there's actually 2 more cars.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a long train. There was all the different kinds of cars that I had to include. And so it's, yeah. So, I mean, unless you wanted to try to do something else to speed it up.
I mean, I haven't been there, so I don't even know what it looks like. So
It's
yeah,
a
I
gamble.
can't do anything.
Well, in any case, it is the creature's turn. I think you could make an opportunity attack with disadvantage because I'll let you make an
I've
attack
already
with
used my
disadvantage.
reaction.
Huh?
I was going to say
Oh
I've
yeah,
already
you
used
used
my
your reaction
reaction.
for sure. So now I think that I'm going to roll a die whether it goes after the guy on the top or the guy on the bottom. So 11 to 20 is top, 1 to 10 is bottom. It's cocked. Aha! It dives back into the hallway and is crunching through the narrow tunnel again now, chasing after this one. All right. And then these guys, this guy is sees that it has done that, and is going to stop running that direction and kind of. I think he's just going to freeze because he's not sure what to do. His buddy is going to keep trying to run away. He's going to get another opportunity bite. 20 to hit for 15 piercing. That guy is looking really rough. As he flees. Fortunately, he can outpace it while it's trying to squeeze through the tunnel, the hallway. He goes into the next corridor, and now Zinhorn.
All right. 2, 3. Then- Yep.
You're moving along too.
Yep.
Right.
I'm sprinting.
Okay. So Zaylene, if you're also doing that, go ahead and move. Let me know if you're doing anything else. And then otherwise we'll jump back to Baldu.
I guess I need to pull.
Yeah, so I'd
Evan
say
up.
make an athletics check with advantage because he would be helping you.
It's at least a 25.
All right, yeah, no problem. So, and then you could use half your movement to stand up from prone.
Okay.
I think
So-
Evan is prone too for the moment.
Yeah. It's safe to assume that pulling him up was my action.
I think so.
Okay. So half my movement is 15 feet. Can I then use my bonus action, cunning action,
Mhm.
dash
Jump back down
action?
through.
Because yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta say all those actions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess transition down to Darish, somewhere about
All right,
there,
sure.
with a successful athletics check.
Mm-hmm.
20. 20.
All right, no problem. So is that your full movement?
That's everything. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So once again, we've got the dwarf lady moving 50 feet. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Just making her way into the postal car, which is the second to last car. Now it's just it's kind of a race between like what can it do before you all get there. All right, Evan's turn. He can stand up.
He's going to stand up, and then this little hatch right here,
Mm-hmm.
and he try to open that and
Yes.
drop down into the car because he is so done with jumping off trains right now.
Hey, you know what? I think he jumps back down through the hatch, and he ends up just like landing on one of the bar stools.
Yep. And has a drink.
And yeah, and the bartender just sets a cocktail in front of him.
Yep. Roll for drink.
Yeah. Okay, Carolina, you're running to keep up, I imagine too.
Yep.
Okay. So the I think the creature here is going to climb back out of the same hole that it made before, back up onto here, and it's going to run up and attack this guy. And it is going to get to make its first full round of attacks and not just opportunity attacks this time. Oh, you know what it actually does is it sort of like hunkers down in a weird position, and you see some weird little like servos spinning up in its sides that light up, and then it roars, and it just creates this like this shockwave cone effect that goes forward, and it's actually going to affect not only both these guys, but um, I think it won't affect the people in the sleeping berths because they're literally behind cover, but they need to make Constitution saving throws. Um, okay. The guy in the cabinet, in the car saves, but the other guy does not. What does it do? Um, wow. Okay. Six. All right. So the I think that this burglar, the one that's right on there, is blasted forward, just going limp like a rag doll in midair, and then is caught by the air of the just, once he's not in contact with the train anymore, just kind of blows off to the side and off the train. That guy is gone. And then the other one, you see this shockwave, and it's damaging all of the, it's doing thunder damage to everything. And that guy is knocked unconscious. All right. That is its turn. Zinhorn.
I am still sprinting to catch up.
Okay. And Zaleen, I imagine doing that as well? Okay. So, Baldu, once again, we're back to you.
I have to. As my action,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to dash. So that gives
Alright.
me 60 feet, which is. Sorry, let me restate that. For my bonus action, I'm going to use the last of my Blessings of the Mistress of the Dark, which puts me to underneath where this thing is.
Okay.
Puts me to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm then going to use 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to put myself here. That's my movement.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to take the dash action to put me here.
Okay.
And that's, aside from a little bit more movement, that's as much as I can do.
All right. Now, the dwarf lady, who no one has ever asked her name, continues. 40. Out of my way, she says to this poor postal worker, shoving past. All right. Evan's turn. I think he has a drink. I think he's earned it.
He's done.
All right. So, Carolina, you're keeping up, I imagine.
Yep, still
I mean,
running
you
and
could-
apologizing profusely.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And
If
then,
I had like haste or something, I could do something like that, but
right.
nope.
Unfortunately, no. So, Baldu. And it drops down, and you are now basically completely preventing it from getting by to its, it's like you're in the way, right?
Mhm.
And I think that is finally sufficient that it will go ahead and attack you.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to try to bite you. It gets a 26 to hit
26 hits.
for 15 piercing damage.
Just 1 second.
Okay.
because I have immunity. Sorry, I have resistance to all damage, not immunity, just resistance.
Okay.
So you said
Oh, for
13?
your blessing of the Mistress of the Dark.
Yeah.
Okay. So it would be 7 then in that case.
Yep.
All right. And first claw attack is only a 14.
That's another 7.
What the 14 does hit?
Oh, sorry. No, 14 misses.
I was going to say, the 14 is the second attack. The third attack is a 16.
16 is my armor class.
Okay, so that would have been 19 slashing. So it'll
So-
be 9 instead.
No. Yeah. Okey-dokey. All right.
Somehow I ended up giving it a lot less hit points than it had a moment ago. I don't.
I'm
so
okay
now I
with
don't
that.
remember how many it actually has. Okay, that's fine. I think I know. All right. But yeah, so like it is tearing at you to try to get past you. It was avoiding other targets where it could to prioritize its intended, but
Mm-hmm.
when you interpose yourself so substantially, that's what you get. All right, Zinhorn and Zaleen, I assume, are continuing to push past and to run down. So, Baldu, it is your turn now. You're face to face with this thing.
I am gonna smash it in the face with a shade blade,
All right.
ideally. Not with a nat 1 though.
No, unfortunately not.
Um,
It.
so upon entering the last car,
Mm-hmm.
I can see the guy on the ground, right?
Uh,
I did not have to.
you're
dash.
not at the last car yet. There's one more.
Oh crap! All
Yeah,
right.
sorry. Yeah, so the dwarf lady is almost at the last car.
All right. I dashed.
Yeah. I didn't necessarily know what cars this was all going to end up taking place in. But okay, so that was your turn, right, Baldu?
Yes.
Okay. So on this round, on her turn, she will finally push through into the last car, at which point she gets in there and sees her the guard, who is a Goliath, wearing a kind of a smart blazer that's tailored for his very large size. But he is lying on the ground, apparently unconscious, and he's got a really runny nose for some reason. Like he's just got like boogers and snot all over his lip. But there is also a great big safe, which is sitting open. And so she runs in, kneels next to him and is checking him, and then looking back to you, Carolina. All right. I think Evan has taken a sip of his drink, and then I don't know, probably I think at that point he's recognizing, you know what? There's still fighting happening. That's
And
well,
then
that's what
he'll-
I propose, unless you want to.
He'll like slog it back,
Yeah.
and then he'll get up
Mhm.
and he will. I have to keep scrolling through the train because
Yeah.
he's gonna go.
Yeah.
He's gonna dash through
Mhm.
this car. Yep,
Okay.
that's all he can do.
All right, Carolina, you're up.
Okay. So I'm gonna go in here. And does this guy have a pulse?
Well, you would probably have to do a medicine check to check, but you could also just try healing and see what happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
All right.
So healing word. On my spell. Here you are.
7.
So as you cast the healing, he sort of blinks awake. He's very bleary eyed, like he's alive, obviously, but he looks drugged. He's
yeah.
what's happening?
Quick, what's the safe word to make it stop?
Make a persuasion check. Because just to like, it's not that he wouldn't cooperate; it's that he's not clear what's happening.
25.
Okay.
I gave him the big anime eyes, sparkly eyes.
Kaput. It's kaput.
Okay. Yeah, I can't do anything else right now, so
All right.
that's it.
You can call it out, can't you?
No, I'm like that was my movement and a bonus
Well, but
action,
you
and I
could-
talked to him.
Yeah, I mean,
But I'm gonna use.
I will
I'm gonna
allow
use-
that you
yeah.
can yell it in response. He says it's kaput, and you could say it's kaput. I
Well,
will
by
allow
the time it got to where it needed to go, I could have just done this other thing. So
it. Okay. Well, I mean,
I'm gonna cast message to
Okay.
Baldu.
all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that'll be a whole nother round, though. All right. I'm just saying, other people could probably assist if you yelled it out to them, but up to you. Okay. If you say that Carolina didn't because she's waiting to do message on her own, that's all right. Okay.
Because I haven't looked back to see where anybody else
sure.
is.
No,
so.
that's fine.
There's a lot of cars between
Yeah.
us and them
Yeah,
too.
like 7.
true.
It's a lot.
All right. So Baldu, yeah, it's gonna keep biting and tearing at you. Actually, hang on. It's gonna. It does not recharge its roar, so it is gonna keep trying to bite and tear with its claws. 14 to hit with the bite.
This is
17 with the claws,
hits.
and then a 14 with the second claw. So only one hit with the claws, but that's gonna be. It would be 19, which I think you take full this time, right? Because you didn't.
Correct.
Yeah. 19. It's also technically. Oh, you know what? I just realized it technically should be. You were resistant to all damage. So in any case, this thing's claws and bite are technically magical damage.
Okay.
But yes, so it does 19 there, and but that's all it can do this time. Okay. That is its attack. Zinhorn. Can catch up and
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. 9. All right. So I sprinted.
Mm-hmm.
What's the word?
I just told her. I mean, it's kaput.
Okay. Now I know.
Yeah. All right, Zaleen. Kind of funny. You dash all the way down there and ask the same question.
I feel like I don't know, like we came all this way and it's just kind of anticlimactic now.
Oh.
I'm just gonna go into that car
Okay.
and I'm gonna ask that guy, what's the word? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna ask him.
Okay. Well, it's kaput for the third time. You don't have to say it 3 times though. Just the one time was enough. But like, what happened?
I'm gonna cast healing word on him too.
Okay. I think you get the impression that he's hurt, and healing word would probably help. But honestly, probably he seems poisoned.
Oh, okay. I don't think I have
Right.
that prepared today.
All right. Well, in any case, Baldu, we're back up to you.
I am I'm just gonna try poking it again.
All right.
Not successfully. That is a 16.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. It is still evading your attacks there. Um, so, and then I think we have Evan's turn.
He is going to rush up on this thing from behind.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta scroll back up. Sorry.
No worries. I'll move him up there.
uh, and he is gonna do his multi attack with with the rapier.
All right. I'll give him advantage because he's flanking it. So that first attack would be a no because it's 12 and 14. But then the next one is a hit. And then one more.
Come on, I got too many tabs.
Okay, so it looks like one hit.
Okay.
For do you need?
I'm gonna roll a
yeah.
d8. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that'll be 8 total damage to it. And it's starting to look pretty beat up. Can't take much more. All right. Carolina, your turn.
Just because I love the visual of Evan doing this, I'm going to send a message to Evan
Uh-huh.
and say the command word is kaput.
So the only thing that I'll say tactically right now, which is really more a reflection of the abstraction of the way we do combat versus the real situation, is that Evan just had his turn. So if we have to wait for him to do it, it'll be a whole nother
Like
round.
doing that. Okay.
You know what? You're right. It ends the combat, so we'll just say like, yeah. You know what? It's like that's silly. If that's what you would do because you want to give him the win.
He always gets like almost dead.
Yeah.
He needs a win.
I knew I should have let him fall off that damn train.
Yeah. So what happens then is so you send him the message, and what do you say?
Just like really as fast as I can. Like just the command word is kaput. Say it.
Kaput. And then as he says it, obviously no one else sees this except Baldu and Evan, but the thing suddenly you see it sort of like retract and calm down, and you expect that maybe it's going to go limp or something, and right now it's like perched over the coupling. But what actually happens is it disappears, like magically, like vanishes. And those of you back in that final train car see it magically teleport back into the safe in a folded up configuration. And it seems to be deactivated now.
Whew.
That was close. I wonder if
gonna-
anybody died.
Cast Lesser Restoration on the guard.
All right. So I think we've run long enough tonight that we can perhaps we'll montage mode a little bit of the rest of this cleanup. Is that the crew of the train was handy enough with a first aid kit that they were able to save the life of the one unconscious train robber. The other one is presumed dead, but body was not found. Certainly not by anyone on the train, so it's hard to know, right? Like he flew off the top of the train at some point, but he was kind of... Well, he seemed like he was limp like a rag doll when it happened, but I don't know. They say if you're going to fall off like a moving train, you're supposed to kind of go limp. Isn't that what they say? I don't know. Anyway, unknown. Fate unknown. Didn't seem good, though. The dwarf lady who owned this thing, who keeps it around for security, is livid that the train had such poor security that it would allow her secure belongings to be tampered with, and she absolutely will not take any responsibility for the damage to the train. After all, if her belongings had been treated as was required by the insurance that she put on her ticket, it never would have happened. And she's planning to write a very sternly worded letter, and all of that.
Could I offer to, I don't know, be her personal entertainment for the remainder of the journey just to kind of smooth things over?
Make a persuasion check. Okay.
18.
With
Why am
an
I rolling
18,
those so low?
She's pretty angry. So I think what she needs from there, she says, I don't know. What can you do?
Well, I can do most anything that you would like. I'm proficient in storytelling. I also play various instruments. I know a whole bunch
So
of different
you know
songs.
what this requires now is you need to do another performance check to bookend the original one.
Holy sh!
You
Yes.
got a natural 1 the first time. Now you get a natural 20.
Holy
32 total.
nice.
It made like this
So
whole, like,
I think that
special
you,
effect thing.
So for everyone else, you play like a little snippet of a song or something? To
Probably something
demonstrate?
like that.
And so for everyone else, it's very good. There's no question. But somehow you just read her exactly right. Because even though she's got this stern expression, she's angry, her valuable equipment was damaged, her trip's been disrupted. But then when you play this song, you see her anger just melts and her eyes start to well with tears. It's just been so long since I've been able to relax and just be a person. I feel like I always have to push people away in order to maintain some artificial personality that I've defined for myself. And she's just like, she's a blubbering mess now, but she just comes and she's just like hugging you around the waist, crying into your stomach.
And I shall comfort her appropriately.
So in the meantime, when you eventually return all the way to the standard seat train car, Ivy and Evan and Nedry look up and say, so you guys were gone a long time. What happened? And I think that's where we'll leave it for tonight, for this week's adventure on so many levels. But we will be back for more. As the pocket protectors finally reach Pashan and all points west next week when we return for more adventures on so many levels.
So
Many levels.
So many levels.